And a very pleasant good evening, football fans, and welcome to another edition of Henley Football on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com. The start of the new year is finally here for the Henley Hornets, and they have a test right out of the gate, hosting the defending 4A state champion, Marist Catholic Spartans. Glad to be with you tonight. My name is Josh Eldridge. Kevin Petrick alongside me tonight. Later on, you'll hear from Walter Hartley and Caitlin Rodriguez running our live stream tonight on mybasin.com. It was a bit of a challenge, some might say, to get here for Henley after a week 1 cancellation, but it's good to be here at the ball field with football in front of us, Kevin.
Yeah, you said the key word, finally.
Yes.
Seems like it's taken a while to get here. Our opponent tonight, they've played 2 games already, but yeah, it's a great atmosphere. A lot of fans will be here tonight. You could argue it's the best 2 programs in the state in 4A, so yeah, a lot to look forward to. Yeah,
if you're around town picking up our signal tonight, you got nothing planned on a Friday evening, come on out to Henley High School. It's Military Appreciation Night. Current and former military get in for free, and we're going to have a flyover here with the folks from Kingsley Airfield later on this evening. So all points to a good night of football. Kevin, you pointed out Marist 0-2 to start the season, but they're the defending state champs. They got a little football under their belt. Henley, meantime, they had their game canceled last week. They were supposed to play Lakeview, but the superintendent of schools in Lakeview said that they can't play. They don't have a team ready to go, so Henley had to, sit on their hands a little bit last week, and boy, they have just a ferocious test out of the gate.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of elements that make this game interesting. Henley hasn't played yet. Marist has a couple games under their belt. Henley has a lot of experience, a lot of seniors. Marist lost a few players, but their program's good, and we've seen them more than our league opponents the last few years. We played them a couple times, so yeah, it should be a really even, really good game.
Yeah, not only here on the football field, but volleyball as well. Henley and Marist, a budding rivalry. Baseball, they've played in the semifinals the last 2 seasons. Yeah. When the Hornets and the Spartans get together, it's usually a good battle, and we are excited for another addition to this rivalry tonight as the Henley Hornets play host to the Marist Catholic Spartans in week 2 of the high school football season. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, we'll take a look around the state, find out what else is happening here in the Klamath Basin. We'll also have our national anthem and our Military Appreciation Night festivities ahead of kickoff here tonight at Henley High School on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan.
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
You know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
It's time to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the Basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
And we welcome you back to Henley Football here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. Just a few minutes away from kickoff tonight between the Hornets and the Marist Catholic Spartans. Kevin, you said it, what could potentially be some of the two best teams in the entire state. It's a rematch from last year's state championship game. It's a game in which Marist won that night 30-6, but 2024, Hornets got the best of them. It's been kind of back and forth between these two schools as of late, and I think before we look around the state, it is important to acknowledge that not only last year, but the year before, these teams also met in the state title game.
Yeah, the one thing that you notice when you watch a few minutes of the game is really there are some elite athletes on both squads, and more so than a lot of other teams that you'll see across the state. Just really good athletes. You see a lot of athletic plays. The coaching's excellent. So you really see good football when these two get together.
Yeah, certainly so, and the rankings back it up. It's a little bit hard to look at the OSAA rankings this early in the season. The computer hasn't quite worked out all the kinks and all that stuff yet. But you look at the coaches' polls, that tends to be pretty reliable still early in week 2. And we've got number 4 in the Henley Hornets taking on number 5 in the Spartans tonight. So that should tell you how the rest of the state thinks about these two teams. Marist has 2 games under their belt. They lost 35-21 last week to Tillamook, a game in which the Spartans jumped out against the Cheesemakers 14-0, but the game slipped away from them and Tillamook came away victorious. Also interesting of note for Marist, their 3rd game of the season. It's also their 3rd road game of the season as well. They haven't had a chance to play in front of a home crowd themselves, so seemingly battle-tested for their part. Let's take a look around the rest of the Klamath Basin, tell you who else is playing tonight. Mazama is at home this evening. They are hosting 5A Mountain View. Mountain View looks like a pretty quality program. They scored 40 points in each of their first 2 games, and Mazama has them tonight in a non-league contest. Looking at the 2A classification, Bonanza is at home tonight taking on Lowell, the Red Devils, and Lost River taking on the Heppner Mustangs, the team that eliminated them from last year's playoffs. Lost River on the road in that game. Final one we'll talk about tonight is the Cross Point Christian Warriors taking on Doofer in a battle of 2 of the top 1A programs in the state. And as the Henley Hornets have taken the field, they are led by head coach Matt Green. Looking for a big-time performance tonight from the Hornets. We are nearly ready for military appreciation festivities. We're going to step aside one more time. When we come back, we'll be ready for the presentation of the colors, the national anthem, and, of course, our highly anticipated flyover this evening. It's all coming up next on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
At this time.
The innocence of youth.
Welcome you back to 960 Sports, presenting the colors here at Henley High School ahead of our military festivities tonight. Apologize for some of the silence here in just a moment, but wanted to welcome you back to the broadcast.
At this time, Henley High School Choir, Orchestra, and Drama Director, Mr. Chris Benjamin, will sing our national anthem.
What so proud stars gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We welcome you back to Henley High School on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com as we had our jet flyover this evening, and glad to be back with you tonight. It is Military Appreciation Night at Henley High School. Current and former military members got on for free. We had a fantastic performance of the national anthem done by Mr. Christopher Benjamin, and of course the flyover done here as well, and just waiting for the colors to be retired as we continue tonight. You can see the Jets on MyBasin.com maybe flying off in the distance off to the right side of the field. Always very cool to see those guys out here.
Thank you.
Well, it would seem we are nearly ready for football tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. We're going to step aside one last time before kickoff tonight, and then we're ready for Henley football on MyBasin.com. Keep it here.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Josh Eldridge and Kevin Petrick back with you on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on MyBasin.com. We are just a couple of minutes away from kickoff tonight between the Henley Hornets and the Marist Catholic Spartans. Captains meeting down at midfield, and for Henley that includes Julian Reyes along with Joe Janney, Theron Tyler and Jance Call Jr. down there for the coin toss this evening. The Hornets in their navy blue uniforms with Hornets written across their chest in navy blue with yellow trim. Marist tonight with their gold caps, their white jerseys, and their gold pants this evening. Marist coached by Zach Lowboy. He's assisted by Tyler Dennis, Jason Martin, Noah Breeslaw, Rye Max, Dylan Dowling, Aiden Hazen, Jeff Cast, Chris Young, Dylan Martin, and Nathan Bennett. Matt Green for the Henley Hornets, assisted by Alex Stork, Todd Pashy, Kay Shively, Chad Elbert, John Lucas, and Pete Whistler. Our officials this evening in the white cap, Darren Rutledge. Our umpire, Colton Wright. Our linesman is Rick Ladner. The line judge is Zach Wading, and the back judge is Rob Sellers. It's certainly shaping up to be a good night. Even in the last 10 or so minutes since we started our pregame show, we've had quite a few more fans file in the stands tonight, Kev. It is a great crowd tonight at Henley High School.
Yeah, people have been waiting for this one, and we do have a good crowd. The Henley side's almost completely full, and we'll see people roaming around the track here before the game's over. So a lot to look forward to tonight. And we haven't mentioned probably the focus of Marist, Joe Janney.
That should be the focus to just about anybody who plays these Hornets.
So that's a number one when it comes to what your coaches will be talking about for the opponents. So how do you stop Joe Janney? How do you control him? He's just a super athlete. He runs very well. He throws just as well. He makes good decisions. I've always been impressed with his decision making. And Henley runs a one-back set. They get away with that because Janney's basically a running back. He's probably the fastest one in the state. So they have a lot of options when he's back there. So we'll see what Marist's game plan is against him.
Henley is going to kick off to start the game. Back to receive for Marist. I see Hazen. He's joined by Skinner on the near side to kick things off for Henley is Luke Balzotti. Tonight as we get things started, 67 degrees at kickoff tonight from Henley High School. We'll get down maybe around 60 by the time things are concluded tonight. But as the sun sets off to our left side, it sets the stage for a wonderful night for Henley football. The kickoff is up. And it's going to go out to about the 15-yard line, kick around near the 10. That's where Skinner's going to pick it up, and he's not going to get anywhere. Henley special teams pitting Marist back to start this one. They'll have it 1st and 10, close to the 10-yard line. We'll see where they officially spot it, but a good job there for Henley special teams starting this one.
That was great. Lucas McCormick did an excellent job. Didn't outrun the play, didn't overrun the play. Controlled himself, made a nice tackle, and Marist will start with some pretty poor field position to start.
Officially starting at the 12-yard line. Their quarterback is number 4, a senior standing 5'10", 165 pounds, Elijah Martin. They send a man in motion. He's got one back off to his left. Here's a handoff up the middle and taken down swiftly. A short gain on that carry for Marist. That was number 2, Jackson Skinner, in on the carry.
They'll test Henley's defensive line here. Henley starting with 4 down linemen. They want to see if they can establish the run game. Picked up a couple on that first down.
Elijah Martin also joined by Grady Hazen as a wide receiver, CJ Justina, another wide receiver, Gabe Detmeyer out there as well, and Aiden Miller. We'll get you the line after this play as quarterback goes back to pass, feels pressure, tries to unload a screen pass, and intended target Skinner. It's going to hit his hands, but fall incomplete, and it'll bring up third and about 7 here for Marist. And again, out there for the Spartans at either guard position is Griffin Cheney and Jack Carlson. The tackle spot, Brody Buzzard, and I believe Kai Hartsock out there. Their center is Wynn Cockler, a sophomore standing 6'2". There's your offensive line there for the Marist Spartans. Looks like a couple of plays into this game, we might have a player down here for the Henley Hornets. The official trainer for Klamath County School District is going to head out there. Want to give a shout to Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance. You also see their logo on our scoreboard tonight, but they do all of the training and the medical staffing here on game nights for all the schools in the Klamath County School District. Elevate uses a modern and research-backed approach to physical therapy to ensure that you see both a reduction in pain and enhanced mobility, getting you back to peak levels of optimal health and wellness. They've been treating athletes of all ages since 2020. So here Marist gets back on the football. It'll be 3rd and 7 from about the 16-yard line. 11:18 to go here in the first quarter. Marist lined up. Coaches and trainers getting off the field, but that's all we're waiting for. As, again, the Spartans are lined up, and there's the whistle, and here we go. Third down looming for the Spartans. First opportunity for them on a late down situation tonight. Martin sends a man out to his left, looks to pass, again finds a screen to Skinner, but he's wrapped up and taken down for a loss, and that'll bring up fourth for the Spartans.
That's the second play in a row. Trapper Kundal read that play, trying to just kind of throw a delayed screen there, but Trapper held his zone, kept his responsibility, and brings up a punt here for Marist.
Yeah, forcing the Spartans to punt in the opening portion of this game. Connor Shively back to receive for the Hornets. He's stationed right about the 37-yard line. The punt is up. That's a booming punt over the head of Shively, and it's actually going to be touched at the 40, having to fall on it are the Hornets. A bit of a miscue there, but Julian Reyes, I missed him in the backfield there. He was actually the returner. Hit his hands, fell to the turf, but he fell on it. Hornets still get it 1st and 10 from their own 40, driving from right to left.
That was a terrific punt. Those are hard to catch. It was almost a perfect spiral.
Yeah.
It hit the peak and then came down in a spiral on the backside and made for a difficult catch, but Henley was able to fall on the football, and they'll start their first drive.
They'll take it over 1st and 10 at the 40, 10:37 to go in the first quarter. Joe Janney leads his Hornets out onto the field. He's accompanied by Connor Shively, Kai Montag, Jacob Baki, and Julian Reyes, along with Jeremiah Brunick. And we'll talk about the line here in just a moment for the Hornets after this 1st and 10 play. Janney, he's going to hand it off, and taken down after a small gain on the carry. It'll be 2nd and about 9 coming up here for Henley.
I think the key to Henley this season, as always, will be balance offensively. Anytime you can call up any play, whether it's a run or a pass, you can execute that play. That puts you at a great advantage. And we'll see if Henley can mix it up.
Venegas at the right tackle. At the left tackle, it's Nathan Billy. At either guard, it's Theron Tyler and Cole Yarnell. The center, Jance Call Jr. Here's Janney back to pass. Fires over the middle, but it's picked off by Skinner. Skinner loses one defender. Janney's trying to catch up to him, takes him down at the 5, maybe just inside the 5, but an interception for the Spartans gives them great field position. It'll be 1st and goal with just under 10 minutes to go in the first quarter.
That was an amazing interception from Skinner. Basically one-handed it. And he threw a bullet, but he just kind of snagged it right out of the air. And that's something you don't see too often. Early Henley mistake, and a good break for Marist.
Marist has it 1st and goal from the 5 with 9:53 to go in the first quarter. And you talked about some of the guys that they don't have back this year, Kevin. Their quarterback from a season ago, Nick Hudson, graduated. He threw 3 touchdowns in the state championship game. So Elijah Martin looking to succeed him as the Spartans quarterback, along with a few of the other skill positions that we'll talk about throughout the game. Looks like a handoff coming to Skinner up the middle, but he's stuffed. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal.
The bottom of the pile there, Jance Call. First one to the scene. I'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Something the Hornets over the past few seasons that have fueled these state championship runs has been that line play. You know, they were good at the skill positions for years leading up to their state championship appearance, but they got their line down, and they have been real ferocious these last few seasons in the trenches.
Yeah. Yep, that defensive line's very good.
2nd and goal from the 5 again for Marist. Skinner lined up behind the quarterback. They send him out wide. Skinner takes a pitch going left, and again, he's taken down for no gain on the play. 3rd and goal.
That's Kundal again. We called his name a few times already, and we're early in the game.
Doing a good job of getting that penetration for the Hornets defensive line. Marist hasn't been able to get really anything going on offense. They've been gifted with some good field position here, but if you can stop them on 3rd, that's a pretty darn good possession for the Hornets defense, but it comes down to this play. They've got 2 men lined up to the near side. At the bottom of your screen is Detmeyer. In the slot there is Justina. Quarterback looks for the end zone. The pass is incomplete, and that will bring up 4th down. Intended target was the sophomore, Gabe Detmeyer.
Just a quick throw, and the Henley defensive backs were all over that. And this Henley team has a habit. They have done very well with red zone defense. They are really good at not allowing those scores inside the 20.
Yeah, they really embody that bend, don't break mentality.
They do. They've been very good at it. And this will be a challenge here on 4th down to keep them out of the end zone.
Yeah, Marist offense remains out on the field. They've got 2 men lined up to either side of the quarterback, and the running back, Skinner, lined up to the right of the quarterback, Martin. Martin calls for the snap, rolls to his right. Looking towards the end zone, feels pressure to his backside, running out of room, floats it up. The pass is caught in the end zone, one-handed. Did he get it? Yes, he did. What a catch from Gabe Detmeyer. One-handed, tiptoeing in the back corner of the end zone, and that's a Marist touchdown with 8:23 to go in the first quarter.
That was just a jump ball. The Henley defense had a good effort on the quarterback, forced him to just kind of throw a jump ball up there. That's what you want to do, though, on 4th down. Just give your players a chance. And he tiptoed back there and brought the ball in for a touchdown.
So now into kick the extra point for Marist. It looks to be It's going to be Kellen Fitzpatrick. The kick is up, and it is good. Marist jumps out to a 7-0 lead against Henley with 8:23 to go in the first quarter. Henley a chance to respond after this on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Marist Catholic leads 7-0 against the Henley Hornets as we welcome you back on 104.3 and 960 Sports. It was a 4-play, 5-yard drive for Marist. They got it with great field position after an interception and took them 4 tries to get those 5 yards, but they finally did when the quarterback Elijah Martin connected with Gabe Detmeyer in the back of the end zone, and that is how we get a score of 7-0 in favor of the Spartans.
That was quite a catch. You really can't ask your defense to play that any better.
Right, yeah. I mean, that was just in the one spot that his guy could have caught it, floated it in there, and one-handed at that. Yeah. You got to tip your cap when a play like that happens.
Just a great play.
So here we go. To kick things off is Fitzpatrick for the Spartans. His kick is going to trickle around the 25, and that is where the Hornets will fall on it to start this drive. They'll take it over 1st and 10, 8:23 to go in the first.
That was a nice kick. It was one of those pooch kicks, but it didn't go out of bounds. It headed that way, then it just kind of stopped before it went out of bounds. Didn't allow for a return. So that was a good piece of special teams work from Marist.
Spartans, a couple games under their belt. We've talked about it a little bit. It was a loss for them in week 1. That was against 5A Churchill, 34-7. They lost to 4A Tillamook last week, 34-21. They're looking for their first win against a Hornets team who is yet to take the field this season. They're getting their first snaps under their belt. And now, after throwing an interception last time out, Joe Janney looks to lead the Hornets down the field. Calls for the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Brunick. Brunick breaks one tackle, brings it up to the 30, now to the 35, the 40. Up past the 45, trucks a man at midfield, keeps on going, brought down on the other side of midfield, past the 45 and about the 42. A huge gain for Brunick and the Hornets. They flip field position, 1st and 10.
Nice hole opened up on that left side of the line for Henley. Then some good downfield blocking. Reyes kind of leading the way over there. And that made for a big gain.
It's about a 17-yard carry on that one for Brunick. A little bit longer as they have it 1st and 10 in at the 43-yard line. Now into Marist territory as the Hornets drive from right to left. A man in motion is Montag. He goes from left to right. It's a keeper for Janney. He dodges one man in the backfield before getting swallowed up by a gang of Spartans at the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
That time Janney faked the handoff but kept the football, and he didn't fool that defense. There were 3 or 4 defenders ready for him on that side. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, you talk about they can expect Janney to run the football. Last year in the state championship game, it was a 30-6 loss for Henley, but Joe Janney carried the ball more than any other Hornet. 14 times He only gained 33 yards, though, in that game. No touchdowns, but he's going to try to run the football, and the Spartans know that much. Here is second and what is officially 11 yards. They've got Montag in a bit of motion, going from right to left. Janney takes the direct snap. It's a designed keeper for Janney. Goes to the right, now cuts back to the left. He gets up to the 30, almost no one in front of him, to the 20, to the 15, inside the 10 before he's tripped up before reaching the 5. A big gainer there for Janney. You see what he can do, giving his team first and goal.
Yeah, that's what we're used to seeing there from Joe. He's very good at shifting and changing directions, and that time he found a lane, kind of changed up, came to the near side, and when he gets open field, he's very quick.
Design keeper for him as well. He was running to the right side, had some blockers that way, but his vision is so good. He saw a cutback lane to the left side, and that's where he got most of that yardage.
Right.
First and goal at about the 7-yard line, officially the 6 here for the Hornets. Brunick lined up to the left side of Janney. You've also got one receiver to the left. That's Reyes. Now Janney takes the snap. It's a handoff to Brunick. He loses one defender, trying to keep those feet moving, and he does so for a short gain on the play. Second and goal on the way for the Hornets.
Brunick is a strong runner. Last year there was kind of a 3-back system here at Henley, and I think Jeremiah really improved toward the end of the season. I think he'll be the feature back this year.
Senior, he stands 5'10", 160 pounds, a stocky body type. That's what you're looking for in your running back, a guy who's hard to get underneath and bring down a little bit. Hornets have it second and goal from the 5, 6:20 to go in the first quarter, a game in which Henley trails Marist 7-0. This will be play number 5 of this drive. 2 receivers set out to either side for Janney, and Brunick off to the right. Janney dropping back to pass, feels pressure to his right side, runs right up the middle, and he's going to get about 3 yards on that carry, but short of the end zone. It will be third and goal from about the 2.
Good decision that time. Receivers were covered in the end zone, so kept the football, made his way toward the goal line. It'll be third down.
5:45 continuing to tick away here in the first quarter. Henley trailing 7-0. But they've got lined up to the near side. It's Reyes. 3 men lined out to the right. It's Montag, Shively, and Bakke out there on the right. And Brunick off to the left. Janney calls for the hard count. No one on Marist flinches. Janney gets a second signal in from the coaching staff on the near sideline. Now calls for the snap. It's a handoff to Brunick. Looks right, cuts back left into the end zone for a Hornets touchdown. Jeremiah Brunick punching it in from 2 yards out. And the Hornets now only trailing by 1 with an extra point looming.
That was a terrific drive from Henley that time. As we mentioned, they're able to mix the plays up. That time looked like they changed the play, and they're calling the plays from the sidelines, which makes that very convenient. They can switch things up, and they saw something they liked, and that was an easy touchdown for Brunick.
To kick the extra point, the senior, 5'9", Julian Reyes. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. The Hornets tie this ball game with 5:13 to go in the first quarter. We're knotted up at 7, and Marist a chance when we come back on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
Henley Hornets putting 7 points up on the board. They drive 6 plays in just over 3 minutes off the game clock. They take 75 yards in for the touchdown off the back of Jeremiah Brunick and a 2-yard touchdown rush. And don't remember, a big gain to start that drive as well for Brunick, powering the Hornets ahead to tie the game. And now the kickoff is up. Marist Skinner going to field it about the 5. Pardon me, that's not Skinner, that's Justina. Takes it up along the far sideline, gets up past the 20, not quite to the 25. And Marist will take it over first and 10. It looks like officially about the 24-yard line.
Hansam Townsend in on the tackle. A little bit of help from Ronan Wright for the Hornets. One thing I like about that last drive, Josh, is they kind of had that not so good start, and what we saw there was a veteran team respond. They didn't panic. They just ran their offense, looked very good in scoring that touchdown.
Elijah Martin calls for the snap. Looks to be a handoff to Skinner up the middle. Gets a few on that carry, a gain of 3, maybe 4 yards. It'll bring up second down for the Spartans. Continuing to try to get those dive plays going. Looks like he got a little bit more yardage than I thought. Looks to be about 2nd and 6 coming up.
Not too bad for a first down carry. Picked up about 4. Jackson Hart with the tackle.
Similar formation coming out for the Spartans. Skinner to the left of the quarterback, 2 on either side. Calls for the snap, looking for a quick screen. It is completed to Justine at about the 25. Gets up to the 30. Short gain on the play. Brings up 3rd and about 4.
Good play call. He was wide open on that little swing pass to the near side. Jacob Bakke came up and made the tackle, and that will bring up a 3rd down.
It'll be officially 3rd and about 3 yards coming up here for Marist. They are 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions thus far tonight. And another formation similarly, although this time at the bottom of your screen, the receiver's bunched up. Martin calls for the snap. He looks immediately to his left, feels pressure, dumps it off to his running back Skinner on the screen. Skinner takes it upfield past the 35, down about the 39-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 9 yards on that catch. Good enough for a Spartans first down.
Hart had pressure on the quarterback that time, but just a good enough throw. Able to break a tackle and pick up that first down.
Have it from the 39, 3:42 in the first quarter. We are tied up at 7 in a rematch from last year's state championship game. In the 2023 state championship game as well, a battle between the Hornets and the Spartans. Here we go with Marist, 1st and 10. They send Justina in motion from right to left. Martin calls for the snap. Drops back to pass, looks to hit Justina again. Hit him in the hand. The ball pops up, but it falls harmlessly to the grass. There is also a flag in the backfield after the throw was completed. We'll see. Looks like holding against Marist. Our Whitecap Darren Rutledge making the designation, and this one's coming back.
Good break for Henley. Bring up a 1st and 20. Somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, it looks like it will be 1st and 20 for the Spartans. They'll snap this one from the 29. The yard to gain is the 49, still on this side of midfield as the Spartans drive from left to right. One man lined up to the right side. That's Detmeyer. 3 men to the left for the Spartans. And the running back Skinner off the right hip of the quarterback Martin. Martin gets the snap. Has some time to pass, has to move out of the pocket to the near side. He looks over the middle of the field, nearly intercepted, but just short hopping the Henley defensive back that looked like Shively. It'll bring up 2nd and 20.
Yeah, Shively did a good job. Almost got to that football to pick it off, but the incompletion brings up 2nd and long.
Guy like Connor Shively, quick turnaround from baseball to football season for him. He was a member of the Klamath Falls Falcons American Legion baseball team that made it to the Northwest Regional this year. Shively was the Falcons starting shortstop and plays wide receiver and defensive back here for the Henley football team. Here the Spartans face 2nd and 20. And Martin takes the snap, now rolling to his left, has lots of room to throw and finds a man downfield. In on the catch was Hazen. Makes about a 9-yard catch. It'll bring up 3rd and about 12 to go.
Sam Bennett there to knock him out of bounds. That was a good work by the defense, knowing the down and distance. You can give up 8 or 9 yards when it's 2nd and 20. So there's a pivotal 3rd down here.
Spartans converting on 3rd down already once tonight. They are 1 for 3 in such scenarios. This is their longest attempt yet, though, facing 3rd and 12. 3 receivers set up to the right, 1 to the left. Running back also off to the left. Martin rolling to his left, feels pressure in his face, sets his feet, fires down the sideline, but it's incomplete, bringing up 4th.
That was all because of that line, that defensive line. They pushed Martin out of the pocket. He did not want to go to his left, and he really had nowhere to throw the football. Good defense.
And Marist, the way their line has been moving, it seems like it's designed to roll out with the quarterback to one side or the other. It's not like the quarterback has had to feel a lot of pressure to roll out. They've just gone with the whole line out.
Right.
Now the Spartans forced to punt. Shively stationed about the 35. Behind him is Rias. He's at about the 5. The punt is up from about the 30. It's a booming punt that rattles around the 20. Rias fields it about the 15, brings it up to the 20. Now the 25 along the far sideline. Trucks through one defender just short of the 30. That's where the Hornets will take over. 1st and 10, 2:41 to go in the first quarter.
Brody Buzzard making the tackle for Marist. We've seen some good special teams tonight. It's been early, but some good punting and some good special teams coverages, good kickoffs.
Something that you kind of heard about talking with some Henley coaches before the season started, that special teams, something that they made a note of, that they feel good about coming into the season.
Yeah, and it's just valuable to have a good kicker.
Yes.
You get in those close games, a field goal kicker and a good kickoff player that can get that team deep.
Tied up at 7. Henley takes it over. 2:41 to go in the first. They've got it 1st and 10 from the 29. So they've got it in their own territory. Bunch set to the near side for the Hornets. One out wide to the right. Brunick off to the left side of Janney. Janney calls for the snap, hands it off to Brunick. Has some room, gets to the 30, but he's tripped up from behind him. A short gain on the play gives him about 2, maybe 3 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a whole lot there, but he was able to weave, make a quick move, and pick up about 3.
Brunick going to come off the field here in favor of Handsome Townsend, a junior, 5'8", 150 pounds, also listed as a running back. And he's going to line up, though, as a receiver. And Janney is alone in the backfield for this 2nd and 7. Joe gets the snap. It's a low snap, but he fields it cleanly. Has some room, moves up in the pocket, spins off of a lineman, and then he's torn down for no gain on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 7.
Marist was able to contain the edges that time and didn't really give Janney anywhere to run. Bring up 3rd down.
Janney's tried to look for that hole up the middle when that pocket opens up a couple of times now, but you're exactly right. Linebackers for Marist just kind of lurking there to try to stop him from getting anywhere. You can tell these teams have played each other quite a bit. There's not a whole lot of feeling each other out. Everyone knows what's happening.
I was going to say that. Yeah, they're hyper aware of what Janney can do. They've done a pretty good job so far.
3rd and 7 for the Hornets. Janney with a running back to his right. 2 men set out to the near side. Janney dropping back to pass. Feeling pressure to his backside. Fires a dart over the middle of the field. It is caught by Kai Montag. A gain of about 10 yards on the play. Good enough for a Hornets 1st down. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the 43. Oh, there is a flag, though, in the backfield. Let's see.
Yeah, there's going to be a hold on the Hornets that time. Janney had a lot of time to throw, and when you do that, he'll usually make that completion as he did there.
Seemingly a reason that he had a long time to throw, though.
Yep.
We'll see our officials kind of discussing the flag. It was thrown about the 26-yard line. Original line of scrimmage was the 34, so it was well in the backfield, and now we're going to get our designation. Here we go, holding against the Hornets. And let's see, are they going to replay 3rd down, or are they going to take 4th? I believe you have to replay 3rd.
Yeah,
right?
You know, the catch was good enough for a 1st down. So,
yeah.
So they'll take the penalty, and we'll replay 3rd down.
So replay 3rd down. It'll be 3rd and about 15 here for the Hornets. A little bit longer, perhaps. 3rd and about 16, let's say. Janney calls for the snap, rolls to the near side. A designed keeper here for Janney. Has it on the near sideline, cuts through, gets to the 30. Now to the 35. He runs out of bounds at the 40. That should be good enough for a Hornets 1st down as Janney takes it 16 yards upfield for a Hornets 1st.
That was a designed run, and there was no hesitation. And he just had a wave of players blocking, making some good blocks on the outside. You don't see many times where you have a 3rd and 17 and you call for a run, but Henley can do that.
They'll have it 1st and 10 again from about the 41-yard line, trying to get on the other side of midfield to the 49. 1 man set up to the near side. They've got 3 receivers to the right. Janney calls for the snap. It's a handoff to Brunick. Brunick gets up to the 35 before being brought down, the 45. About the 46 is where he fell. About a 5-yard gain on first, brings up 2nd and 5.
Good first down carry, good for about 5 yards. And he was dragging some tacklers with him. He's really showing some strength and power running the football.
30 seconds remain here in the first quarter. Hornets might get one more play off before the end of our first quarter. Still tied at 7 between the Hornets and the Spartans. And Henley getting on the ball, 20 seconds and continuing to count away. Lined up to the far side is a receiver, Jacob Baki. Brunick off to the right side of the quarterback, Janney. He sends Rias in motion from left to right. Janney is going to hand it off to Brunick. Brunick gets stuffed, no gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 5, and that will let time expire in the first quarter. Tied up at 7. A lot more football to go. It's been great so far. Thank you for being with us on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. Back after this.
At GINO'S on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
GINO'S on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at iloveginos.com. GINO'S on East Main, simply good food.
Getting set to start the second quarter of action tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com as we start the second quarter, a tie ball game, 7-7. The Hornets have it 3rd and about 5. Janney takes a snap, looks to his left. Intended target was Kai Montag, but it looks like it's fallen incomplete. It'll bring up 4th and about 4 officially, the down and distance for the Hornets as they bring out the punting unit.
And Jackson Skinner with the pressure there. And Janney just kind of had to flip the ball forward. Didn't really make the throw he wanted to make. And we'll see Henley punt the football here for the first time.
Back to receive for Marist is their running back, Jackson Skinner, 6'3", 211 pounds. And Janney, the punter here for Henley, punts it from about the 40. A booming punt is fielded at about the 10. Bringing it up to the 20, and that's where he's taken down. Great open field tackle that time for the Hornets, denying a punt return, and it'll be 1st and 10 Spartans.
I think that was Cassidy on the tackle. And that was a great tackle. Really sure-handed tacklers. Henley's got a good tradition of that. They're a good tackling team. And now Marist will take over, 1st and 10.
Last time Marist a 6-play drive, but they wound up punting the football. Before that, a 4-play drive got him 7 points on a 5-yard touchdown reception from Detmeyer. Long field in front of the Spartans here. They have it 1st and 10 from the 20. Martin rolling to his right, feels pressure to the backside, gets a quick pass off to Skinner underneath, takes it upfield for a gain of 11 or 12 yards, 1st and 10 Spartans. Second first down of the night for Marist. Henley's defense did a good job through that first quarter of disallowing those rollout passes to be completed, but that time quarterback finding Skinner for a good completion and a solid gain for the Spartans.
Yeah, Martin had a little bit of pressure there, but he kept his cool and made a solid throw.
So 1st and 10 officially from the 34-yard line for the Spartans. 11:20 to go in the first half. It's a 7-7 ball game. Martin going to hand it off to Skinner. Takes it along the left side of the line, upfield for a short gain of a couple yards. 2nd down on the way.
Not much there. Baki in on the tackle. Kundal also helping out.
You know, we've seen some teams around the Basin so far this season and some other schools, not Basin teams, and you brought it up and it really got me thinking. just how different it is watching Henley tackle versus some of these other teams. I mean, they are so sure-handed.
They are. They're very good tacklers.
2nd and 7 here for the Spartans. Martin looking to pass. He looks left, feels pressure to his backside, gets rid of it. The pass is caught at the 40, and bringing it up to about the 45-yard line was Skinner. He picked that one up off a blade of grass, but the catch is good. 1st and 10 Spartans.
Yeah, he kind of threw that in desperation, and a lot of the fans here thought that one hit the ground before he made the catch. I kind of tend to agree with him on that.
Yeah.
But it'll count. That's 1st down.
Can't call New York on that one.
No.
1st and 10 from the 45. 10-15 and counting in the first half. Tied at 7. Spartans driving. This will be play number 4 of this current drive. It's going to be a handoff to Skinner. He's swallowed up in the backfield. Tries to spin off a defender, but the Hornets are having none of it. 2nd and 11 on the way.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of blue in the backfield that time. And that's a tackle for loss.
Skinner, the main running back tonight for Marist. Big shoes to fill for Connor Harvey, who graduated a season ago. Take you back to the state championship game. Well, Connor Harvey had 177 rushing yards and a touchdown, averaging about 6 yards per carry against the Hornets. It's clear Marist trying to establish this running game, considering how much success they had a season ago. But now they face 2nd and 12. Martin rolling out to the near side. He has nowhere to go, and a huge sack on the play. That was Venegas on the sack for the Hornets. 3rd and long.
Venegas with another good tackle. That's a huge sack. That's a major loss, maybe 12 yards on the loss. And that's 3rd and a long way to go for Marist.
Looks to be about 3rd and 26 coming up here for the Spartans. So, yeah, it was lost about 14 yards on that sack. Martin just kept trying to go backwards and eventually was brought down by Venegas. And now the Spartans face a long 3rd down. They are 1 for 4 on 3rd down conversion attempts. Here's Martin dropping back to pass. Pressure in his face. He's brought down again. Another sack, and it faces 4th down for the Spartans.
Cooper Mathis, shoestring tackle. What a great series for that defense. Spartans will be in a punting situation. Henley really able to make their way through that offensive line this series.
So after that 3rd down failed conversion, Marist will be forced to punt. Another big punt for Marist, high in the air as it hangs, and a fair catch made about the 31-yard line. Making the fair catch there was Reyes. And the Hornets will take over 1st and 10. Again, about the 34-yard line. 8:02 to go in the first half, tied at 7.
They'll start with pretty good field position. We'll see if Henley can put together a drive and take the lead in this football game. Right now we're tied at 7.
Last time out for the Hornets, they were forced to punt after a 5-play drive stalled out just past midfield. But penalties is what caused that for the Hornets, looking to avoid that yellow laundry on the field this time around. Here's the 1st and 10 play. It's a play-action pass. Janney with pressure in his face just gets rid of it out of bounds, and that will be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, a lot of pressure coming from that Spartan defensive line, and you know it's kind of underrated a little bit. That was a good decision. Sometimes throwing the football away is what you want to do.
Yeah.
And a senior quarterback will know when to do that. That time he really had no other choice. Just try it again here on 2nd down.
Some folks don't know the grounding rule in high school. It's once you're outside of the pocket, you can get rid of the football without any repercussions, and Janney certainly was. And I think he had someone in the vicinity anyway, but just for some folks who may not know how that rule works in high school football. It looks to be a sweep handoff going to the far side. Reyes on the carry, but he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of nearly 5 yards on that 2nd down carry brings up 3rd and long.
Henley showing some strong defense on their last defensive series. Marist doing the same here. That was kind of a tricky play, kind of a jet sweep looking play to the far side, and Marist was all over it.
3rd down and 14. Officially 3 receivers set up to the near side. Henley 2 for 2 though on 3rd down conversions. so far this evening. Janney takes the snap. Has good time to throw in the pocket, moves up in the pocket a little bit, now tries to bounce around to the right side, looks to the near side, intended target was Rias, but it falls incomplete. Would have been good for a first down likely, but now it brings up 4th down and 14, and the Hornets once again forced to punt.
It's a good effort. Would have taken an incredible catch to bring that one in. He's just a little short of the first down. So the incompletion brings up 4th and long for Henley.
So Janney to punt for the Hornets. Back to receive for Marist. It looks like Grady Hazen, the junior, stands 5'10". He's stationed about the 30. Janney, the punt. That one is going to kick out of bounds around the 30. Hard to tell exactly where it was. Officials are going to say the 33-yard line is where Marist is going to take over and start this possession. 1st and 10 with 7 minutes to go in the first half.
We broadcast a few games so far this year, and the pace has seemed slow in most of those games. The teams are using all of the play clock.
Yeah.
I'd say this one's a little quicker. They're not getting on the ball in a hurry, but just kind of a medium pace. Neither team really trying to stall or take their time. They're getting to the football and they're trying to move it.
You're seeing these teams rely on their running game too, and that always keeps the clock moving as well.
Right.
1st and 10 here for the Spartans, again about the 33-yard line. It's a quick play-action pass. The intended target was Aiden Miller. It hit the junior's hand and then couldn't bring it in successfully, bringing up 2nd and 10.
That was a quick pass and a pretty good throw. Just couldn't execute the play. First down incompletion will bring up 2nd down and 10.
Marist has tried to go for those quick passes and those kind of underneath screens. Haven't seen him trying to air it out too much just yet.
Right. Yeah, they haven't gone deep.
They've got it 2nd and 10. Tied at 7. 7 minutes to go in the first half. Rolls out to the right, and a diving attempt and an interception by Joe Janney, but instead he pushes the ball out of bounds. It brings up 3rd and 10.
Henley defensive line kind of pushing that quarterback one way or the other this whole first half. He didn't look comfortable making that throw, and he throws the incompletion.
Elijah Martin, the quarterback, is a senior. Stands 5'10", 165 pounds. Again, it's his first year starting for Marist, taking over from Nick Hudson, who threw 3 touchdown passes last year in the state championship game against the Hornets. Here's the 3rd and 10 play. Looks like a quick pass to Skinner. This time it's complete. He bounces off one defender at the 30, but then a swarm of Hornets swallow him up only about 2 yards upfield. That will bring up 4th and 9.
Venegas out there with the tackle. Bakke had a shot at him, and that will be well short of the first down.
So Marist forced to punt again. Our last score came with about 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. We've gone nearly a full quarter without any points scored. It's been 4 consecutive punts, and unless Marist breaks out a trick here, which they won't, that's the 5th consecutive drive ending in a punt. Goes out to about the 35, kicks up to the 30, now inside the 25 at about the 23-yard line. Marist will touch it there, and that's where the Hornets take over, 1st and 10.
They were playing some field position here. The defenses have really played well the last 10 minutes or so. Neither team can get that offense going. And that'll be Henley's turn.
Hornets 3 and out last time. They put together a little bit of a drive previous, but again, still ended in a punt. Their scoring drive took them 75 yards in 6 plays. Jeremiah Brunick with a rushing score, but that was with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, again, reminding you of that. So here we go. Joe Janney takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Brunick, going to the left side. Had room for a moment, but the window quickly closes, and he's actually taken down for a loss of maybe 4 yards on that carry. Brings up 2nd down and long.
Yeah, King for the Spartans. Got in that backfield. It's a loss of a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
So officially it looks like 2nd and 12. Looks like Brunick got a little bit more than I had initially thought. So 2nd and 12 here for the Hornets. And Janney calls for the snap. This is going to be another handoff, trying to find some room up the middle. Looks like a gain of 2 on the carry. It looked like Trapper Kundal on the carry there for the Hornets on his first carry of the game tonight. It brings us back to a 3rd and 10.
Trapper's a very strong runner as well. He carried the ball a lot last year.
So the Hornets facing 3rd down again. So far, they are 2 for 4 on 3rd down conversions tonight. And 3 men set up to the right side for Janney. 1 off to the left, and the running back also off his right hip. Janney dropping back to pass, throws a bullet over the middle. The pass is caught for a 1st down on the reception. The senior Jacob Bakke, a gain of about 14 on the catch. Good enough for a Hornets 1st down.
Hornets facing a passing situation, ran a nice, just a simple post, and he hit Bakke right in stride. Good completion, enough for the 1st down. Nicely done.
Janney puts some real serious zip on that football as well. Puts into context how hard that interception was to bring in earlier in the game. I mean, he gets that ball to you fast.
He's been throwing the ball hard tonight, and it makes me think he has faith in his receivers.
Yeah.
They can catch the football.
1st and 10, again, from about the 38-yard line for the Hornets, crossing the 4-minute mark to go in the first half, tied up at 7. Here's a handoff right up the middle. Great gain on that carry of about 7 yards for the Hornets. I think that was Brunick on the handle, and it brings up 2nd and short.
Yeah, nice gap, opened up quickly after the snap. Give him a lot of room to run. And it'll be 2nd down and short. Coaches like this situation. You can kind of, sometimes on 2nd and short, you can run something a little tricky.
And right about midfield, too. Now's the time to do it if you're going to for the Hornets.
Sure.
It's 2nd and 3 from the 45-yard line in their own territory. They've got a man in motion. Montag comes to the near side, then reverses. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Looks like he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage on that carry for Brunick. It'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Yeah, that was just a straight-ahead run. Not much room in there.
Looks like the Spartans going to call timeout with 3:02 to go in the first half. Tied up at 7. We'll take this timeout as well. You've got Henley football on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Marist calling a timeout ahead of this 3rd down play for the Hornets. 3rd and 3 from their own 45-yard line. We're tied up at 7 with 3:02 to go in the 2nd quarter. Hornets tonight, some success on 3rd down, even already this drive. They're 3 for 5 on the night and 1 for 1 on this drive. It's a snap to Janney, a design keeper for him. He gets the 1st down, if not by about 3 yards to about midfield. Janney on the carry, 1st and 10 Hornets.
Yeah, that was a big 3rd down. Marist knew it. They called the timeout and tried to call up a defense that would stop the 1st down, but Henley picked it up, and now they're starting to string together a few 1st downs and get this drive going. Ball right at midfield.
7th play of the drive looming here for the Hornets. They took it over at their own 24. They've been slow and methodical this drive, and again, as time ticks away towards halftime, you start to manage that clock a little bit if you're Coach Matt Green down there as his team takes it 1st and 10. Putting a man in a bit of motion, just lining up Rias in the slot. Janney takes the snap, looks deep over the middle. The pass is incomplete, nearly taken away by Detmeyer about the 30-yard line, but it hit his hands and, well, for the Hornets, thankfully dropping to the grass. They get a second chance at life here, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that was a dangerous pass. He was looking for Bakke across the field there, running across the middle. Unfortunately, that one just fell to the turf. Second down.
Hornets have been good in these late down situations, even facing 2nd and 10. No need to panic yet for Henley. Again, already 2 third-down conversions on this drive alone. Here's 2nd and 10. They've got it on the near hash. Bunch set to the near side. And it's going to be a handoff to Brunick. Has a huge hole up the middle, bounces off one defender, stays on his feet, gets to the 40, nearly to the 35. A gain of 13 on that carry for Brunick, and a Hornets first down.
Excellent run from Brunick. That time he threw in a spin move, and that's not easily done, but you feel that contact right away. You can spin out of the tackle. Once you learn how to do that, it can pay some big dividends. He picked up a first down.
Be about the 38 or so yard line. Inside of 2 minutes to go in the first half. Still tied at 7 between the Hornets and the Spartans. Janney with a running back off to his left. 2 receivers on either side. Line up Marist with 4 down linemen. It's a handoff to Brunick again. Finds a little bit of a hole, rolls off of one defender and falls forward for another few yards. Gain of about 5 on that carry for Brunick. And it'll bring up second down for Henley, and it looks like Coach Green ready to call timeout here with 1:32 to go before halftime. We're tied up at 7 between the Hornets and the Spartans. Back after this on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Hornets taking a timeout with 92 seconds to halftime. Tied up at 7. Hornets in Marist territory at about the 34-yard line. They'll have it now officially marked at 2nd and 7. 3 receivers to the near side for Janney. He's also got his running back off to the right side. That's Brunick. Here's the snap. It's a play-action pass, a quick pass to Connor Shively. The ball squirts out. They're going to say that pass was incomplete. It just slipped through Shively's hands, bringing up third down.
Yeah, that pass was only about a yard downfield, and he probably wouldn't have picked up too many yards after the catch anyway, so probably the best thing that ball hit the ground. The clock will stop, and Henley will get another shot at it here on third down.
Brings up a 3rd and 7.
3 men set up to the near side. Shively alone on the left. Running back to the right hip of Janney. Takes it from the gun. Here's the 3rd and 7 play. Janney dropping back to pass, feels pressure in his face, looks way downfield, but overthrows his man. Shively streaking down the sideline. Pass is incomplete, and it'll bring up 4th and 7.
Looks like he might have been held up at the end of that route. Pretty well thrown ball, but he wasn't able to catch up to it. And so now we'll look at a 4th down. Defensive backfield, they have good athletes on the Marist side of the football. They're able to play. They're playing pretty tight on the line. A lot of teams will play 9-10 yards off the ball because they're afraid of getting beat deep. Marist is right up there. They're playing some good defense.
So 4th down and 7 in Marist territory. 1:21 to go before halftime. It would seem to me the Hornets are going to go for it here on a 4th down conversion attempt. Janney is alone in the backfield. And here we go, a 4th down attempt for the Henley offense. And timeout is called. Henley will take the timeout, so we might have to take pause on that initial notion. As we approach halftime, though, want to remind you to stick around during halftime tonight for the Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club halftime show. Harbor Isles exists to provide a clean, multi-use facility for the advancement of health, wellness, and longevity to its members and the community. We invite you to join Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club, where they feature top-of-the-line equipment, full-service personal training, and an array of group exercise classes. Stick around for the Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club halftime show tonight.
Henley called timeout here. They want to get this right. It's 4th and 7. Minute 21 left to go, so time not really a factor, but you don't want to give Marist too much time to try to get a score of their own before halftime. Big 4th down conversion attempt here.
Again, Janney alone in the backfield. It's 4th and 7 for the Hornets. It's their first 4th down conversion attempt so far. Janney looking for a quick screen pass to Brunick. Gets by a defender, gets to the marker, stays on his feet. Continuing to pump those legs for a good gain on the catch by Brunick. 1st and 10 Hornets. Clock stops. A minute 13 to go before halftime.
Coach Paschy with the right play call right there. And a good block. I think that was Kai Montag on the far side with a good block to open up that run just enough for the 1st down.
And another play where the Hornets feel confident about those yards after catch.
Right.
That catch was made right about the line of scrimmage. And on 4th down, risky play call, but like you said, Kev, the right play call evidently.
Yeah.
3 men head up to the near side. Along the far side is Vaughn for the Hornets. They've also got Montag in motion, going from right to left. He'll settle in the slot as the ball is snapped. Janney looks over the middle. He's looking for Rias, but it hit his hands and drops to the floor. It'll be 2nd down.
C.J. Justina with some good defense that time. He was all over that receiver. They made a good play to stop the clock with 42 seconds.
2nd and 10 for the Hornets. This will be play number 14 of this drive. Started at the 24. The Hornets will take this snap from the other 24-yard line. 3 men to the right for Janney. 1 to the left is running back off his right side as well. Janney takes the snap, drops back to pass, moves up in the pocket and has room. Gets inside the 20, now cuts to the near side, to the 15. He's got room to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Hornets! 31 seconds to go before halftime, and Henley punches it in for 6. And they lead 13-7 on a 24-yard rush for Joe Janney.
He's just a little bit quicker than he looks. I think 3 different players had his jersey on that one. And they grabbed the back of his jersey and couldn't hang on. He was able to slip away from each of those tacklers and score a late 2nd quarter touchdown.
Hornets going to try to make it a clean 7 with an extra point attempt here. The ball is snapped low, rolls to the holder, and he is swallowed up. No real chance at an extra point there. So our score will remain 13-7 with 31 seconds left to go before halftime. That drive for the Hornets, 14 plays, 5.5 minutes, capping it off with that 24-yard touchdown rush for Joe Janney.
Good downfield blocking and just Joe Janney's ability to kind of create plays when there's not one there. We've seen him do that many times. And that led to a nice touchdown drive there for Henley.
And beneficial for the Hornets as well. They're scheduled to receive after the halftime break as well. Right now, they've got to kick things off to Marist. The Spartans do have 2 timeouts and 30 seconds on the clock. They're certainly not going to make this easy, and they're, I would imagine, not going to settle for a deficit at halftime, especially when it's only 1 touchdown down. So Henley going to have to continue to play hard on the defensive end for 30 more seconds this half.
Yeah, if they can get a good return here, get the ball somewhere near midfield, I think they'll feel good about being aggressive, try to score.
To kick things off for Henley, their junior kicker, Luke Balzotti. Back to receive for Marist. I believe that's Hazen back there, and he's joined by Kramer on the far side. The kick is up. It's going to be Kramer who fields it about the 5, brings it up to the 15, now the 20 on the far side of the field, and that's where he's taken down. Looks like just past the 20, maybe about the 21-yard line for Marist. That return took about 6 seconds off the clock. 25 seconds remain in the 2nd quarter.
That was great coverage. Looked like Henry 4, first one over there for Henley, and a good tackle.
Marist has had to punt on their 3 previous possessions. They haven't scored since 8.5 to go in the 1st quarter. They're looking for some late first half points here. 1st and 10. It's a low snap, and it's going to be a handoff. Quickly swallowed up, maybe a loss of 1 on that play, and Marist going to call timeout. They'll have one remaining with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They'll face 2nd and 11 when they come out of this quick break. Want to remind you, tonight's broadcast on mybasin.com is also brought to you in part by GINO'S Cafe on East Main Street. They're open every morning at 6:30, serving up their famous breakfast burritos. Those are served all day long, along with other menu items like burgers, monthly specials, and Italian favorites. You can order online at iloveginos.com or have it brought right to you on DoorDash. Also want to highlight Klamath Falls Subaru, who, through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate at Klamath Falls Subaru on Washburn Way. Stop by and say hi. Spartans reemerging onto the field before the Hornets defense. Marist facing 2nd and 11.
I'm a little surprised they called timeout there. With 18 seconds to go this deep, you don't want to make a mistake. I thought they might just let the clock run.
After that run play, that was seemingly what you thought. But
yeah, so we'll see what they do here.
And they still have one more timeout remaining this half as well. Here we go, 2nd and 11 from the 19. Another low snap, but this time the quarterback handles it. Now trying to roll out to the sideline, unloads a pass downfield that is incomplete. Elijah Martin having to battle some adversity down there in the backfield, but gets rid of it with 10 seconds remaining in the half, 3rd and 11.
Yeah, well played from the Hornets that time. Just what you want. Good coverage in the defensive backfield and good pressure up front. Looking at 3rd down now, just over 10 seconds left to play in the half.
Hornets got some defensive backs back here. Looks like they're playing 4 back to try to prevent a deep pass here for Marist. It's 3rd and 11. 2 men set out to either side for the Spartans. Martin is going to pitch it to Skinner, coming to the near side. Skinner has some room up the middle, but he's taken down from behind after a gain of about 5 yards on that carry. And with 3 seconds remaining in the half, the Spartans take their final charged timeout. They'll face 4th down when we come back out of this pause in the action. Be real curious to see if Marist just tries to air it out and make something happen, or they decide to throw a punt down there. I mean, I would imagine they want to keep the offense on the field with 3 seconds remaining in the half, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they didn't let it run out, but with 4th down, Ronan Wright with a good tackle for Henley to make sure they didn't pick up the 1st down. So they have just a few seconds to kill. You're probably right, Josh. They'll probably just try to run it out. Be surprised if they did punt, give Henley a chance. They could kick it out of bounds. That might be an option as well.
Sure.
You don't want Henley to get a chance to run it back. We've seen stranger things.
That is very true.
So,
I mean, they clearly must be cooking something up after calling timeouts on what were effectively back-to-back running plays. So they'll have it. 4th and about 5 to go. Marist on their own 28-yard line. And it looks like they're going to punt here. Be wary of a trick play here for the Hornets. But the Spartans seemingly ready to punt. Special teams on the field. And the kick is going to go out to about the 35. I don't think the Hornets want anything to do with this. Marist will touch it down as the clock expires. And we head to halftime. And Henley leads the defending 4A state champion Marist Catholic Spartans 13-7. Stick with us during halftime. We'll break down the first half. We'll take a look around the state. We'll square you up for the second half tonight from Henley High School on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com. The Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club halftime show is next.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan.
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
You know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
It's time to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the Basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
Josh Eldridge and Kevin Petrick back with you on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com. It is halftime tonight between the Henley Hornets and the Marist Catholic Spartans. 13-7 at halftime. Henley scoring with only 30 seconds remaining in the half to put them up by 6 points. A tightly contested game, to say the very least here, Kev.
Yeah, that's kind of what we expected, and we're getting all of it. I'm really impressed by the athletes that we're seeing, and it's kind of a game of fundamentals. When the teams succeed, I'm noticing Henley on defense, they're doing a great job getting off the blocks, and that's when they're making the big plays, and they've had a good defensive first half. And then on offense, they're making the blocks down the field, so it's kind of going the way it's supposed to go. When you make a good play, when you execute, when you block appropriately, you're getting success, and when you don't, you make mistakes, you get penalties or tackles for loss, then your drive stalls. So kind of seeing a good, straightforward, good, even game.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit, but these teams obviously know each other, but they're playing like they know each other too. Joe hasn't been able to break free for some of his long rushes. He's had a few,
sure,
but those have come in late down situations, maybe where the Hornets, you don't expect him to run with Janney. He had a nice 17-yard carry on third down, but Marist, for their part, have done a good job containing this potent Hornets offense.
Yeah, and probably the difference in that first half scoring-wise, Henley was able to convert on a couple of third and fourth downs.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that made the difference as far as the scoring goes. But we're still in a tight game, only a 6-point lead for Henley.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit, just going on about how the game started. Marist was forced to punt 3 and out after their first possession. Henley got the ball back, but only 2 plays into their drive, Joe Janney threw an interception to Jackson Skinner that gave the Spartans fantastic field position. They took it over at the Hornets' 5-yard line. It took them 4 tries to finally punch it in, but they did so. They led 7-0 with about 8:20 to go in the first quarter. Henley got the ball back and in 6 plays drove it 75 yards, capping it off with a Jeremiah Brunick touchdown rush. An extra point was good, and the Hornets tied the game at 7 with about 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. After that, it was a stalemate. Both teams trading punts. There were 5 consecutive punts between the two teams about midway through the first quarter until late in the second quarter. That's when Henley got the ball back with 6 minutes to go before halftime, and in 14 plays, they drive 76 yards, capping it off with Joe Janney and a touchdown rush from 24 yards out. That's how Henley leads 13-7. And Kevin, you mentioned it, and you're exactly right. Third downs and fourth downs really making the difference so far in this game. Overall for Henley, they've got 5 total first downs, and that's because they are 4 for 7 on third down tonight. They're also 1 for 1 on fourth down conversions. Meantime, for Marist, They are 1 of 7 on third down so far tonight. 1 for 1 on fourth down conversions so far, but you pointed it out exactly before you even knew those numbers. Those late down situations dictating the game thus far.
Yeah, and the Henley defense is playing very well. Sometimes you overlook them because of their offense is so prolific, but they were given a very short field on that touchdown, and it took an incredible play to get that touchdown. So Henley defense, they're really playing very well. So if the offense can generate some points, it's going to be good news for Henley in the second half.
Yeah, certainly so. Again, 13-7 our score at halftime between Henley and Marist under the Friday night lights here in Klamath Falls. Thank you again for tuning our way tonight. We're going to step aside here during the Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club halftime show. When we come back, we'll tell you what the other Basin teams are up to tonight. We'll take a look around the state of Oregon, tell you what else is happening in Marist's league as we continue our halftime coverage tonight from Henley High School on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
We're continuing our coverage tonight from Henley High School at the Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club halftime show. Harbor Isles exists to provide a clean, multi-use facility for the advancement of health, wellness, and longevity to its members and the community. Inviting you to join Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club, where they feature top-of-the-line equipment, full-service personal training, and an array of group exercise classes. Also, while we have a quick moment, want to highlight Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club being a part of a community event that's coming up here September 19th, 20th, and the 21st, and that is the Paddling for Childhood Cancer Pickleball Tournament. Those folks at Paddling will host their 3-day pickleball tournament at Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. Games all day long. They've got a silent auction. They've got so many raffle items, and they exist to give money back to children in the Klamath Basin who are battling childhood cancer. And the folks down at Paddling, it's a shame that an organization like that has to exist, but of course it does, and they do great things in our community, and that's happening over at Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club, and that is next week. As we take a look around the Klamath Basin and around the state of Oregon, as our score at halftime 13-7, Henley leads. We've got a couple of score updates from some other Klamath Basin teams. We know Cross Point Christian is playing Dufur tonight. Was it 6-6? Did you find out what time that was,
That's
Ted?
a halftime score.
Halftime score for Cross Point Christian, tied up with Dufur 6-6. Two of the top 1A programs in the state going at it there. Lost River on the road tonight. They're taking on Hepner, the Mustangs, who eliminated them from last year's playoffs. Lost River struggling at the start. At halftime, they trail by a few touchdowns, down 28-0. A couple of other games that we don't have score updates for just yet. Mazama at home tonight. They are playing Mountain View. If you are able to contact either myself or Kevin, you know Mazama's score, let us know. They take on Mountain View tonight at 7 o'clock, trying to get a score update there. The other 2A game going on this evening in the Klamath Basin is Bonanza. They're hosting the Lowell Devils, and don't know a score there. They started at 7 o'clock. You know, Kevin, we had that military flyover earlier today for Military Appreciation Night. It sounds like those guys in the Jets made a stop at every home game tonight. So they were at Mazama. They made their way out to Bonanza as well. Very cool. Kind of a pregame moment there with the fighter Jets. Always love seeing those guys. It's so cool.
Absolutely. They're a big part of Klamath. So
did you make it out to the air show when it was in town?
I did, just for a sec.
Yeah.
Yes, it was very impressive.
Yeah, certainly so. As we'll center the conversation back here around football as we take a look around the conferences here in Oregon, the 4A special districts. And for Marist, man, they have a difficult conference for them. You look at Philomath, typically a very good team. Cottage Grove is 1-0. They're ranked in the top 10 right now. Historically have been up and down, but only other team to be without a win thus far in their league is Junction City, and they're a program which can be up and down at times as well. But they've got a 5A school, Crescent Valley, playing in Special District 3 for Marist this year. So certainly looking at them to finish towards the top of their league like they have traditionally and try to make a run at the playoffs. Meantime, for Special District 4, what's known as the Big Sky Conference, it is Marshfield who leads the pack right now, 2-0. Mazama behind them. North Bend, Ashland, and Henley or Hidden Valley have yet to play a game so far this season. There's potentially some shakeups coming to how classifications work in the OSAA. Of course, every 4 years they do their whole redistricting and reclassification of what's going on. And, well, the Skyline Conference, the Big Sky Conference, whatever the OSAA decides, whether it's a 6 classification system or a 5 classification system, there's going to be some changes coming to our league with the likes of Ashland or Eagle Point and Crater and things like that joining the league as well. They've got a few more meetings they decide in December, but things could be changing for the OSAA, but sometimes change is good.
Yeah, for the most part, they've made some changes the last few years. I think everybody agrees with what's going on. So, yeah, it's good to keep a track every 4 years. Some schools gain some students, some lose some. You just kind of make the playing field as fair as you can. So yeah, it's all a good deal.
We'll get step aside one more time here before halftime is over. But before we send us off to a quick break, we do have a score update from Mazama playing Mountain View tonight. The Vikings trailing at halftime to 5A Mountain View 41-0. Mountain View's been very good out of the gate. They've scored 40 points in each of their first 2 games. And Mazama, they're trailing at halftime at home tonight. Those are the score updates we've got this evening. And here at Henley, it's the Hornets who lead Marist Catholic 13-7. We're going to take another break here at halftime. We'll get you ready for the third quarter coming up next on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance. Thanks for joining us. Elevate started in 2020 as a dream. I wanted to open up a clinic of my own, really had a heart and a passion to treat athletes of all ages, and got the opportunity to do it, and wow, this is what's happened. One of the best parts of this job is that we get to work with all the student athletes on field, at their contests, at their games, all around the county. Specifically when you're working with dancers, right, we've got like particular ways of movement that we don't want to necessarily correct, because dancers have a very specific way of moving that's important for their athletic performance. At Elevate, we're here to get you moving and keep you moving, no matter if you're 8 or you're 80. Feel free to give us a call at 541-887-2030.
goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
It's 13-7. Henley leads Marist Catholic at halftime. It's about 2 minutes to go before the third quarter as we bring back up the Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance scoreboard. Kevin, we kind of talked a little bit about the first half as we get ready for the second half tonight. Although it's been a close game, you look at the numbers, and Henley offense has clearly had the edge over Marist's offense, but I think really the story through that first half was the defensive play.
Yeah, the defense looked sharp already. I'm kind of coming into this game, I want to see how does Henley progress. It's their first game.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing what we would expect. They're getting better as the game is going. I think that some of the newer players, this is their first varsity game for some of the kids. There are a lot of seniors, so they have a lot of experience as well, but they're kind of starting to mesh. I think as the game continues, we'll see them just get better and better.
It's a rival game. There's no doubt about that. The Spartans and the Hornets don't share a league. They share a classification, and it seems like they meet more often than not in the playoffs of just about every sport. Of course, 2 years consecutively in the state championship game for football. There was a couple of years where they met at the state tournament in volleyball as well. In baseball, back-to-back seasons where they've met in the state semifinal. Marist has gotten the edge in baseball and volleyball. So far, the Hornets hold the edge in football, but man, when these teams get together, it is explosive, and I think legitimately a non-league rivalry has formed between these two schools.
Yeah, and I really admire schools that play tough schedules.
Yeah.
And these two schools are not afraid to play 5A schools or the top 4A. So Marist this year, they've had a difficult schedule, and they play all on the road. All 3 games have been on the road, and that's going to make them better, and they know that. Some schools are kind of afraid. They're a little more tentative to schedule games like that, but I really do think it pays off if you play better talent, and these teams will do that.
I think it also makes a point to say you need to be confident and good to play good teams too. I mean, you got some schools that are trying to rebuild their programs. They're scheduling a little bit of a less tougher schedule. Even here in the Basin, programs are rebuilding, but you're exactly right. Henley, I suppose for lack of a better term, they're looking for the smoke wherever they go. They scheduled a pretty tough non-league schedule. It's been kind of broken up a little bit. They were supposed to play Bend in week 3. Hornets at this moment in time don't have a week 3 game. Summit's league got sort of switched around. They have one less non-league date, so that game got taken away from Henley, but Summit's a good team. Lakeview is one of the better 3A teams. They're maybe looking to be about middle of the pack this season, but that's been, going back and forth playing the Honkers the last few years. Henley certainly schedules a gauntlet non-league as well.
They do, and last year was a good example. They played some tough teams, and it tends to work out. You play light competition, it'll make your program better.
So Henley set to receive after our halftime break has concluded. Again, for those of you just joining us tonight, want to welcome you to the broadcast. My name is Josh Eldridge. Kevin Petrick to my right. Caitlin Rodriguez running the live stream camera for you on mybasin.com, and Walter Hartley along with us as well this evening. Here for every Henley football game this season. We also feature a GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week, keeping you up to date on everything going on in high school football and more on mybasin.com. Again, thank you so much for joining us tonight as we get ready for the third quarter. The kick is up. It's a bit of a squib kick out to the 35. Hornets unable to field it cleanly. There's a dog pile at the 40. Marist seems to think they have it. We're going to get the official signal here in just a moment. The Hornets did, in fact, come away with it.
That was a big break. That would have been kind of a crummy way to start the second half, to lose the football, but they fell on it. And they'll get to try to extend their lead here in the third quarter.
Certainly a fortunate break there for Henley. They'll take it 1st and 10, about the 40. Just getting started here in the third quarter. They lead by 6. Last time out for the Henley offense, a 14-play drive in 5.5 minutes, and it ended with 6 points on a 24-yard touchdown carry for Joe Janney. Now, the Hornets trying to extend upon this lead coming out of the halftime break. 2 receivers to either side for Janney, running back off to his left. Janney calls for the snap. It's a play-action pass. Looking deep down the near side. Here's Bakke, just overthrown. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Aiden Miller on the defense there for the Spartans. And he was right there. Good coverage. Just a simple play action, just a fly pattern down the sideline. Incomplete.
Brings up 2nd and 10 for Henley, again from the 40-yard line as they now drive from right to left. 1 receiver set out to the near side. That's Bakke. It looks like they've also got Montag lined up as something of a tight end there on the left side. He goes now to the right after he gets called into motion. Janney with a handoff to Brunick. Brunick has blockers. He gets through the line to the 50. Now he gets to the 45, to the near sideline to the 40. 35-30, 25-20, wrestled out of bounds inside the 20, and a huge gain for the Hornets and Jeremiah Brunick. 1st and 10 in the red zone.
Perfect play call once again. Every once in a while, Marist will go with a 3-man front. And when they do that, Henley's had a lot of success running the ball inside, and that was the case there. Brunick really showcasing his speed on the near side of the field down the sideline. It's a big gain.
Yeah, about a 40-yard carry that time for Brunick. And the Hornets have it now 1st and 10 on the Marist 20. 11:39 and counting in the third quarter of a 13-7 ball game. The Hornets lead. 3 receivers to the right for Janney. His running back off to the left. It's Trapper Kundal who takes the handoff, looks right, bounces around up the middle, stays on his feet, finally brought down emphatically out the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1 on forward progress. It'll be 2nd down coming up for Henley.
That was a hard tackle from Brody Buzzard. He's made a few of those tonight. And that was just a short gain, maybe a yard.
2nd down coming up for Henley. They've got it at the 19-yard line. I think they are giving him a gain of 1 on that play. It'll be 2nd and a long 9 coming up for Henley. Lined up there at the bottom of your screen as a wide receiver, Julian Rias. They've got 3 men out to the right. It's Bakke, Shively, and Montag as you get closer to the line. And Kundal lined up to the left of Janney. Here's the 2nd down play. Janney calling for the snap. Looks to be a keeper for Janney on the option. He rumbles downfield for a solid gain. Still short of the marker. Looks like it's going to bring up 3rd and 3 on the keeper for Joe.
Designed quarterback run. He picked up a few. That'll bring up a 3rd and manageable.
And here for Marist, it's important for them to get off the field here on 3rd down. We mentioned Henley 4 for 7 on 3rd down conversions in that first half. Of course, for our part, looking for Henley to convert here, but this is something that Marist almost certainly addressed at halftime.
Yeah, you're right. This is a big play.
3rd down and 4 officially now for the Hornets. The yard to gain the 10. Here's the snap from the 14-yard line. It's going to be a handoff to Kundal. Has room on the right, has blockers. He gets inside the 10, to the 5, to the end zone, and a Hornets touchdown with 10 minutes to go in the third. They lead 19-7.
Great run from Trapper there. And that play looked like it was going to go inside, but he had good vision, and he bounced it to the outside on the far side, and he had a lot of room. Easy touchdown for Henley. And a great way to start this third quarter.
We got a flag as we look to kick the extra point. Let's see, it looks like maybe a false start, perhaps. Let's see, here's Mr. Darren Rutledge. It says encroachment on Marist. And so I'm going to imagine that's applied for the ensuing kickoff.
Well, they might move it up, and then maybe they'll go for 2. Sometimes we see that.
Well, it's only half the distance to the goal is about 2.5 feet at this point.
Yeah,
so
coaches like doing that. They think, well, that's a little closer.
Well, it looks like they've got a personnel change coming out, so Henley looking to try to make Marist pay. You got to also remember that they missed a extra point attempt earlier, so this could get them back to that even, couple scores ahead of Marist here.
They're going to go for 2.
Hornets looking to be aggressive. 2 men set out to either side. Jeremiah Brunick off to the right hip of Janney. looking for a 2-point conversion. They got Montag in a little bit of motion, but as the ball is snapped, another flag. This one looks false start against Henley, so well, that's going to bring him back 5 yards, making the extra point kick a little extra harder, too.
And we'll see the kickers back and forth and back.
What was it last week, Kevin? The extra point and the flags, and gosh, I can't quite recall.
Yeah, it's been an adventure on these extra points.
It certainly has. Oh, boy.
So the kicking team is back out there.
Here we go. They're looking to kick this extra point. With the boot is Julian Rias. The hold is there. It was a better snap this time around, and Rias splits the uprights. It is 20-7 Henley as they score on their opening drive of the third quarter. 10 minutes remain, and the Hornets lead by 13. Back after this on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan.
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
You know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
Great shot of the Henley cheer team as we welcome you back on mybasin.com. Also on the radio on 104.3 and 960 Sports. The Henley Hornets lead the Marist Catholic Spartans 20-7. Just inside of 10 minutes left to go in the third quarter. And the kick is up. Fielded in about the 5. Justina takes it across the far side of the field. Gets past the 15. Brought down around the 20, maybe just short. That's where Marist will have their first possession of this second half, down 13.
Lucas McCormick making a tackle for Henley. Another good special teams play. And Marist will start right around their own 20.
So, yeah, right at the 20. That last play for Henley, by the way, 5 plays, 60 yards, and about 3 minutes off the game clock. Pardon me, about 2 minutes off the game clock. And capping it off with that 14-yard rush for Trapper Kundal. That made it 20-7. Marist looking to respond. Here's their first drive out of the halftime break, and it goes backwards on the first play. A huge loss. It'll be 2nd and 15 after that handoff for the Spartans.
We've called Jackson Hart's name a few times, and he was in the backfield in a hurry. Big tackle for loss.
9.5 to go in the third quarter. Again, 20-7 the score. The Hornets lead. Marist getting the play call in, playing behind the sticks. It's been to their detriment so far tonight. Elijah Martin, the senior quarterback, with the running back off his left hip. He's got 2 men to either side, putting a man in motion. It's Detmeyer. Detmeyer settles in the slot as the ball is snapped. The pass comes to the near side. The intended target is Justina, but it falls incomplete, and it will bring up 3rd and long.
Henry 4 on the coverage. Just kind of had to almost throw that one away. Martin didn't have very good vision back there. He was under pressure, had to just kind of throw it out of desperation.
Yeah,
again.
Kind of a route in the flats, too. There wasn't a whole lot of yardage after the catch opportunity either there for Marist. Spartans, after that incompletion, the clock is stopped, taking their time, getting back on the football, maybe trying to control the pace a little bit, something we talked about in that first half. It was a quick first half.
Yeah.
It was only about an hour of real time. And Marist could be trying to slow the pace just a little bit. Here's the snap, looking to the near side, and the pass is incomplete. Intended target was Detmeyer, but Martin left it just a bit short. Another failed 3rd down conversion attempt for Marist. It brings up 4th and long, and seemingly going to have to give it back to Henley here. Punter's going to be in the shadow of his own goalpost.
That Henley defense is just not giving Martin much time to set up and throw the football. Good pressure. That time, Kai Montag was back there.
So back to receive for Henley is Rias, stationed about the 40 in Henley territory. The punt is up. It is a beautiful spiral out to about the 40. Takes a wicked kick inside the 30, and they will fall on it about the 25. That was an electric punt there for Marist. I think C.J. Jones with the boot there. Credit to him. He's taken away what was potentially good field position for Henley. He's going to pit him back around the 25-yard line.
He really is a good punter. We've seen some beautiful kicks. High spirals. Gives his team a lot of time to get down and make the tackle. So some good field position play for the Spartans there.
Henley able to find the end zone on each of their last 2 possessions. To start the third quarter, 5 plays and 60 yards. To end the second quarter, 14 plays and 76 yards. Hornets offense finding themselves a groove and looking to add just a few more here as they take over. 8:49 to go in the third quarter, and they lead 20-7. Bunch set to the near side, one out to the right for Janney. Running back off to his left. Janney takes it in the gun. It's a quick play action pass. Connor Shively on the reception. Brings it up to the 30. Lowers his shoulder at the 35. He may have been just short of the marker. He might have gotten it too. It looks like there's a flag kind of tucked in front of the Hornets sideline about the 30 as well. We'll see where this one winds up. It looks like initially Shively 11 yards on that catch, but this one could be coming back. We'll see.
Yeah, he had a couple of blockers out in front. One of them will be charged with a hold.
Well, there you have it. I believe that's a spot foul, so they're not going to go back the full 10. Instead, it'll be first and 14 coming up for Henley, as that hold was made about the 30, so they'll take it from the 21-yard line. And the Hornets up on the football here. Again, 8:41 to go in the third quarter. They lead by 13. Similar formation this time for the Hornets. Janney in the gun. They're putting Montag in a bit of motion. Here is a handoff to Brunick. He's hit hard in the backfield. A loss of 1 on that play.
Sawyer Whitney from Marist was not going to let that play go anywhere. He cut that one off right at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up second down and long.
Sawyer Whitney, a junior, 6 foot tall, 180 pounds. Yeah, he came in like a homing missile, man.
Yeah,
it was a quick tackle.
I like what Henley did to open this third quarter. They threw deep, and I really believe in balance on your offense. You throw deep and you make the other you don't let them settle in any pattern, and then they were able to run the ball pretty well after that. So you stretch out that defense, and then you call your plays.
Hornets have it 2nd and 15 officially. And Janney calling for the snap. It's a play-action pass. Pressure in his face, has to roll out to the right. Janney with a man on his shoulder throws across his body just to get rid of it. Incomplete. Janney just trying to avoid the sack there. It'll make it 3rd and long.
Not many players can keep up with Janney. Jackson Skinner did on that one. He's quick as well. So he forced Janney to kind of throw the ball away.
We've talked about Jackson Skinner quite a bit, and he fits the archetype of a real good athlete, and we've seen it tonight. Like we said, 6'3", a shade over 200 pounds. He's strong, he's fast, and just the kind of athlete Marist wants on their team.
Yeah.
There is a flag about the 5-yard line. Let's see what we've got here.
They're debating intentional grounding. I think they're going to call it, yeah.
Now, we talked about this earlier. Janney was well outside the tackle box. But he threw it across the field, not necessarily out of bounds. There was no one there.
Right.
Maybe I have the rule wrong, I suppose. I'm not quite sure.
I think the first rule is if you're throwing the ball away to avoid a sack, which is the first definition. So there was really no other purpose for that throw but to avoid a sack. I don't know if it went past the line of scrimmage and there was nobody out there. So
and I understood that the line of scrimmage rule was just a college rule, I thought.
Yeah.
So
I think given all that together, I think it was probably the right call.
Oh, certainly. I'm not arguing the call. I just like to – I thought I knew the rule.
Yeah.
Here we go. 3rd and very long coming up for the Hornets. It's about 3rd and 33. They're going to go for a handoff to Brunick. He gets some decent yardage upfield for about 5 yards, well short of the marker. Henley going to punt this one away.
Yeah, just trying to get a little room to punt. Good defensive stand for Marist. They needed that. They trail by 13.
So Janney going to be out to punt. We've given credit to the Marist punter, but I think Joe deserves some credit as well for his boot. You know, Kevin, you kind of talked about you like when a quarterback can also be your punter. It makes it fun.
It does. Gives you some options if you need it.
I think this one, the option's pretty easy, fourth and forever, but still worthy to bring up. Janney with a high punt. That's going to touch down out of bounds around the 50, maybe on the other side of midfield by a yard or two, but Marist will take it over about midfield, 1st and 10. They trail 20-7 with 6:53 to go in the third quarter.
Well, the Spartans played that one just right. They will have good field position to start this drive. Just under 7 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Plenty of time.
So it looks like they're giving Marist ball to 45 in Henley territory, as that ball might have skated out of bounds a little bit earlier than I had thought. But here we go for Marist. Decent starting field position here midway through the third quarter. Here's Martin on the snap, moves up in the pocket. The ball pops free, but Marist falls on it on the recovery. I believe that was Kempf on the recovery there, but nearly trouble for the Spartans. They stay alive, though. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Jackson Hart again. He's had a great game. He came from the blind side that time, and Martin did not see him at all, and he wrapped him up, forced a fumble. Good play by Jackson.
They're going to have new quarterback come in here, at least for a little while, for Marist as Martin heads to the sideline. Enter the junior, Brody Gilliam. Stands 6 foot tall, 205 pounds, wears the number 3 for Marist, and saw him enter the huddle just a moment ago. He'll take over the quarterbacking duties, at least for now. I didn't see anything was wrong with Martin as he came off the field. He jogged off, so I'm anticipating a return for him. Here's 2nd down and 12 for the Spartans. With the snap is Gilliam, rolls out to his left, looks downfield to the left and finds him in. That's Grady Hazen, about 10 yards downfield, short of the sticks. It'll bring up 3rd and maybe a long 3, 4, 3rd and 4 about.
Good route run by the receiver, just a 10 and out, and a good throw from the new quarterback, Gilliam. He was rolling to his left, threw across to the right, made a nice throw.
As we said, 3rd and 4, and just as Marist had hoped to get off the field on 3rd down on their defense, they're looking to convert here on 3rd down on their offense. So far tonight, they are 1 for 8 on 3rd down conversion attempts. It's been to their detriment tonight, looking to straighten out that statistic on the side of the Spartans. Here they go again, 3rd and 4. Gilliam calls for the snap, drops back in the pocket, has some room to move up in the middle. There's a flag in the backfield. This is certainly going against the Spartans. I don't know if you saw what I saw, Kev, but there was a defender down, and you had guys just falling on him to try to keep him down.
Yeah, Henley had a good break. They had penetration immediately on that defensive line, and they had to commit a foul just to keep him off the quarterback. So it will be a penalty against the Spartans. We'll see how they mark it off.
This penalty about 5 yards back field. They're going to go clipping. Is that right? Is that signal I noticed there against Marist? Chop block. Well, I guess same difference at the end of the day. It'll bring up 3rd and long, very long here for Marist. That is a personal foul, so you go back 15 from the spot of the foul.
Yeah, Henley's been very good on 3rd down defensively, and that time again, that just too much pressure, and they had to just kind of scramble. They hit a player below the knees there.
Well, like you said, that penalty was because you had to commit a penalty. You didn't want to sack there. So really that penalty caused again by good defense for Henley. Yeah. And now you've got 3rd and 20 coming up for Marist. They've still got Gilliam in there at quarterback. He's got his running back to the left and 1 receiver. 3 men to the right. Gilliam dropping back to pass. Feels pressure on his backside. He is taken down, loses the football, and I think Henley fell on it. Well, looks like Marist got it back, but another big sack. Gilliam brought down for a loss. It'll bring up 4th down and forever, and Marist once again forced to punt.
Jacob Bakke, he came off the end. Did a good job of knocking that ball out of there.
Again, Rias and Shively both back to receive the punts. This is a tall punt, not so much distance on this one, but it skips around about the 25 and then kicks back towards the 30. Marist, sensing trouble on that hop, is going to touch it down about the 31-yard line. That's where Henley will take over. 1st and 10 inside of 4 minutes to go in the third, and Henley leads 20-7.
That Henley defense doing its job once again. Henley offense try to get back on track. Not the best possession that last series. Went backward a little bit.
Yeah, 3 and out last time for Henley, but credit to the Hornets defense. They've forced back-to-back 3 and outs on the Marist side so far. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 for Henley again, about the 31-yard line. Man coming in on the line, entering it. Tony De La Rosa, the senior, 6'2", in on the line for Henley as he comes in from the sideline, and we look about ready to go for this 1st and 10 play. Janney calls for the snap. It's a design keeper coming to the near side, has some lead blockers and some room. Up to the 40, leaps over to Frater at the 45, now to the 50. On the other side of midfield, deals a stiff arm down at the 40, about the 36-yard line. Joe Janney dazzling his way across midfield for a 1st down. Henley into Marist territory.
We've been talking about this all night. Good downfield blocking. Jeremiah Brunick made a great seal block on the inside. And that's what you need, just 1 or 2 of those, and you can turn a 7 or 8 yard gain into a 40-yard gain.
And the unselfishness for the skill players to lay out blocks like that. I mean, it's part of the game plan for just about every football team. But when you got guys willing to lay down that block, it just makes you that much better.
They're very good at that.
1st and 10, Henley in at the 36-yard line. A handoff to Brunick, lowers his shoulder, powers forward. A short gain of about a yard, maybe 2. 2nd down coming up here for Henley.
Tried to go off that left side that time. Not much room. Picked up 1, I'd say, 1, maybe 2.
2nd down, Henley. Clock continues to tick away inside of 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Henley leads 20-7. Scored a touchdown on their opening drive of this half in 5 plays and 60 yards. Henley took this one over at their own 31, and now they find themselves at the Marist 35-yard line. Good showing tonight from the Henley student section. They're getting involved in their 1st game of the season tonight, too. Here's a handoff to Brunick. He is laid out at the line of scrimmage, and now we have got all kinds of nonsense going on at the side of the tackle. Guys in each other's faces after that big hit. It was a good tackle by Whitney again, but some animation coming out on the Marist sideline here.
Yeah, Whitney's had a couple big hits this half. And that looks like Henley lost the football there.
I believe Brunick, must have coughed up the football. A fumble recovery there, denying the Hornets a 1st down. Marist takes it over themselves. 1st and 10 at the 35. That's the 2nd turnover tonight for the Henley offense. And giving Marist an opportunity here with 2.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Returning to the game, the quarterback, Elijah Martin. He unloads one deep downfield. The pass is incomplete. The receiver for Marist looking for a flag. Shively on the defense. And it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
That was good tight coverage from Connor Shively on that far side. I'm impressed with both sides. Defensive backs for both teams are very good. They maintain their coverage throughout the play, and they won't interfere with the pass. Well done.
Again, just product of what you said. Very first part of tonight's game. Just really stellar athletes on both sides of the football. They match up well with each other. It's made for a good football game so far. Here's the 2nd and 10 play. It's a handoff to Jackson Skinner. Sheds off one defender. Stays on his feet. And he finally gets pushed back there. It's, I believe, no gain on the play. Should bring up 3rd and 10. Skinner got back to the line of scrimmage with forward progress and then was shoved out of bounds.
Good defense again. That's one of those plays where he just couldn't get upfield. He kept trying to go outside, and he'd get a step, and another Henley player would step in there. So good team defense. And bring up 3rd and long.
3rd and 10 for Marist again. We'll bring it up again. Marist struggling on 3rd down tonight. 1 of 9 so far. 3 men to the right side, 1 to the left. And the running back also to the left of Martin. Takes the snap, looking to pass. looks downfield. The pass is incomplete. Intended target streaking down the sideline was Grady Hazen. Was surprised to see that ball fly out of that jumble of bodies. Martin had a ton of pressure on him on that throw.
Yeah, and it was a pretty good throw, but Sam Bennett, he was just right there on the coverage. Really no chance to make the catch. And Marist will drop back into punt formation once again.
Similar punt formation here for Henley. Shively stationed about 20 yards downfield. Rias back near the 20. Another tall punt. This one fielded about the 30. Rias takes it up to the 35. That's where he stopped at about the 38-yard line. Decent return on that of about 8 yards. Henley has it 1st and 10 in their own territory.
That was a good run back. He caught that one on the run. Anytime you can do that, you get a little momentum going your way. And Henley will start in a pretty good spot, right around the 40-yard line.
Got it, 1:15 to go before the start of the third quarter. Again, 20-7 our score, and the Hornets lead Marist in a rematch of last year's state championship game. Henley's first game of the season. They're looking to hold on for a statement win tonight, and adding a few more points here on this drive would certainly go a long way in achieving that goal.
It certainly would. Time is becoming a factor as we get near the end of this quarter.
Montag in a bit of motion from right to left. It's going to be a handoff for the Hornets, and a gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards on that carry for Henley. Couldn't quite see who that was on the handle. Was that Ronan Wright, perhaps? Oh, Handsome Townsend on the carry there, number 26. I missed the 2 there. He was a junior, 5'8". Townsend on the carry makes it 2nd down and about 6 to go. Townsend still out there off the right hip of Janney. 2 men set up to the near side. They've got 2 men on the line of scrimmage on the far side. And Janney calls for the snap, a low snap, but he picks it up off his knees. Now Janney moves up in the pocket. He's got some room, but he unloads a pass. It's caught about the 50, brought up to about the 45-yard line. Julian Rias on the catch there. Had some open field and just wound up losing his feet from underneath him. Still a good catch, still a Henley first down, and now they've got it in Marist territory.
That was another good decision from Joe Janney that time. He had room to run, but he quickly figured out that making that pass was a little better play. He'd pick up a few more yards that way. So he made the throw, and it was complete for a first down.
Joe Janney, a senior, 6 foot tall, 195. You can see his growth as a quarterback, really commanding the field. Guy who likes to run quite a bit, but he's been a lot more patient. Surveys the field before tucking it and running it. And when you've got 2 years under your belt now, those are the kind of growth things you like to see from Joe as we approach the end of the third quarter. Henley with the football. They lead 20-7. And again, they'll have it 1st and 10 when we come back. This is Henley football on 104.3 and 960 Sports with live free video on mybasin.com.
At GINO'S on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
GINO'S on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at iloveginos.com. GINO'S on East Main, simply good food.
Now welcome back on mybasin.com. Fourth quarter just getting started. Janney fires a dart over the middle of the field. The pass is complete, brought down inside the 15 is Kai Montag. How about some fireworks to start the fourth quarter where Henley leads 20-7. A big-time completion puts Henley in the red zone, 1st and 10.
Good aggressive football. That time, we've seen that play a couple times, that route. Just a post pattern across the middle. Good throw, good catch. First down.
1st and 10 inside the 15. Again, Montag on that reception. Senior, 6 foot tall, 185 pounds. Multi-sport athlete there for Henley. Also plays a little bit of basketball for him as well. Here we go. Henley's got it 1st and 10. You've got Tansom Townsend off the hip of Janney. Montag in a bit of motion. It's a designed run for Janney. Has some room inside the 10. Blows through to the 5 into the end zone. And a touchdown for Henley. Joe Janney in from 15 yards out. The touchdown is good. Henley leads 26-7.
Coach Paschy, a couple good play calls coming into this quarter. Bang, bang. 2 plays and a touchdown.
Janney's 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. And Henley looking to put themselves up by 20. And they can split the uprights here with Rias. The snap is low. Smith going to have to improvise, unloads a pass. It is picked off, and the play is called dead on an extra point attempt after that interception. Doesn't hurt the Henley Hornets after all, but they lead by 19, 26-7. Marist will get the ball back. We'll be back in just a moment on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Hornets adding 6 more points to their lead against the Spartans with 11:14 to go in the 4th quarter. They lead Marist 26-7. That last drive for Henley, 4 plays, 63 yards, and capping it off with a 15-yard Joe Janney rush for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. Henley leads by 19 as they kick things off. The kick is up, and it's going to be fielded at about the 15-yard line, running it up the far side of the field, lowering his shoulder at about the 30 before being brought down. That looked like it was Brock Kramer on the return, the junior, 5'11", giving Marist decent starting field position considering he fielded at about the 15, about a 15-yard return, 1st and 10 Marist.
He was not trying to avoid a tackle there. He was trying to go right through it. Good hard run. And that touchdown by Henley there with 11 minutes to play in the game now, and the way this game has been going so far, it's going to create quite an uphill battle for Marist. We'll see if they open things up a little bit.
Yeah, the clock is not your friend if you're a Spartan right now. Elijah Miller dropping back to pass, looks over the middle, looks like maybe a miscommunication on the route. It's an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, we may see that from here on out. Marist playing a little catch-up. They'll have to throw the football probably more than they want to.
Now, look, you're down 3 scores. You're certainly not out of it if you're Marist.
No.
I mean, we know these guys have athletes to be able to put up points in a hurry. Even last week, they wound up losing to Tillamook, but they scored 14 points in the 1st quarter and now motivated to try to beat their rival as well. We know this team can put up points. Henley's defense cannot rest here, 2nd and 10. Here's Miller. Drops back to pass again. Rolls out to his right, looks down the sideline, tries to find Detmeyer close to the sideline, but again, incomplete. 3rd and 10 on the way for the Spartans.
This defense has just been solid. So as an offensive coach, you're just trying to figure out what can we do to make something work here. And Henley's just played very well defensively.
Well, here you go, another 3rd down opportunity for Marist. Henley's defense has been lethal in these spots tonight. Marist has converted 1 of 10 so far. This Hornets defense is building confidence in a big way in these late down situations, and they got a chance to get off the field here. 3rd and 10, just a shade under 11 minutes to go in the ball game. They lead by 19 points. Here's Miller rolling out to the near side, looks over the middle of the field. The pass is incomplete. Again, they try to find Detmeyer downfield, but good coverage by the Hornets, and an incomplete pass brings up 4th down.
That was good coverage. Sam Bennett made a nice break on the football. When it was in the air, he went right to the football in a straight line and beat the receiver to the ball, and it fell incomplete. Good defense.
Marist opting to punt down 4th and 10. You got to trust your defense here if you're the Spartans. Going to give it away to the Hornets again. As the snap is low to the punter. Picks it up off his shoelaces. Another booming punt, that time again from Jones. It's fielded by Arias about the 25. Brings it up past the 40, now to the 50, to the 45, the 40. Cuts back across the field to the 30. Still on his feet to the 20. Inside the 17-yard line. A huge return for the senior, Julian Arias. The Hornets knocking on the door of the red zone here, inside the red zone rather, with 10.5 to go in the fourth quarter.
That was a terrific run. Sprint to the outside, then back inside, then use some good vision to finish off that run. He's got a little banged up after the play.
You run hard like that, some cramps maybe.
Yeah.
I would cramp up after running like that.
Well, he got the ball inside the 20, so.
Heck of a return on that one.
Very good return, yes.
Gets a nice ovation from the Hornets faithful tonight at the Nest. Here we go, 1st and 10. It's the 17-yard line. Hornets inside the red zone. They punched it in for 6 last time around. Janie Montag in a little bit of motion. Here's a handoff to Townsend. Blows through the line of scrimmage, but gets taken down from behind. Had some room and still a good gain of about 6 yards on that carry. 2nd down on the way for Henley.
Just over 10 minutes to play now. Henley with a pretty good lead. We'll see if they run some ball control, take some time off the clock. They're very good at finishing games. The last 3 or 4 seasons, they've been very good managing the clock and putting games away late.
They'll face 2nd and 5 here. Yard to gain is the 7, and they'll take this one from about the 12-yard line. Janney with a running back to his left. It's going to be another handoff to Townsend. He is wrestled down. Another good gain. It looks like he is right at the yard to gain. We'll see if they wind up giving it to him. Townsend comes off the field, but I'll tell you what, for a guy who's not going to get the bulk of the carries this season, I like the way he runs the football. He's kind of patient to take the handoff. And then when he does, man, he is quick off that handoff.
That was a good second effort that time. He made a spin to get out of there. Almost picked up the first down.
They're going to say he was a yard short, so it brings up 3rd and 1 here for Henley. They've had some success here on 3rd down so far tonight. They have converted 5 of 9 so far this evening. There's a designed run for Janney. He gets hit right at the line of scrimmage, but the 6-foot-tall Janney, I believe, fell forward. Did he get it? That's the question. I don't know. From here, it looks like he may have been just about a foot short.
Yeah, he didn't get much, but he didn't need much, so he's really close to the stick. And Henley has a decision to make. It's 4th and about half of a yard. Lead by 19.
Looks like they're going to keep the offense out there, and I like that call when you talk about trying to drain away that clock. If you can get a first down here, you get a new set of downs. We're going to have a timeout, though, it would seem. The Hornets going to call timeout here. It is their first charged timeout of the half, and they lead 26-7 with 8:22 to go in the fourth quarter. Want to encourage you to stick around tonight for our post-game show as we pick a Pacific Power play of the game. The mission of the Pacific Power Foundation is to support the growth and vitality of local communities through charitable investments. Over the past 5 years, the foundation has awarded over $13 million to nonprofit organizations. Big thanks to the Pacific Power Foundation for coming aboard for this season of Henley football and supporting all of our local organizations here in the Klamath Basin. Also want to give a big shout to Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin at 1919 Austin Street next to the DMV or 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza is a proud supporter of high school sports. So here we go, 4th and 1 for the Hornets as they try to keep their offense out on the field here. This is going to be a handoff to Kundal. He is hit initially behind the line of scrimmage and I think wound up going backwards. Marist able to stuff Henley on 4th down, and they'll take it over.
Brock Cranmer made a good play for Marist. He pretty much stopped that one by himself, got in the backfield quickly, and Henley just could not recover, and they will turn the ball over on downs.
Credit here for Marist. Henley had some good starting field position on this drive, and boy, did Marist stuff him there in that red zone after that big gain to start the drive. They'll take it over with 8:15 to go in the ball game. Marist trails 26-7. It's 1st and 10 from the 10 in their own territory. Miller looking to pass, finds a man over the middle. It's Jones. Jones gets downfield for a gain of about 14 yards. Good enough for a Spartans first down.
Marist able to connect on that one. And that's what they're trying to do. Ever since Henley scored that last touchdown, I think they've thrown every down. So they're trying to make up some ground here.
Here they'll take it again, 1st and 10. Miller pressure, a flag as he's wrestled down for a sack on the play. We'll sort out these flags. It was thrown pretty quickly after the snap. I wanted to make a point, though, as we sort this out, Kev. That was the first down for Marist this half.
Yeah.
Was that last one. Henley's defense has done an extraordinary job in that 3rd quarter and now approaching midway through the 4th.
They've played good total defense. They've been good against the run. They've been great against the pass.
Yeah.
And if you just joined us, Marist's touchdown was they had a very short field. They had to go 5 yards for their touchdown.
And it took them 4 plays to get those 5 yards, too.
Yeah, so the Henley defense played very well. Coach Shively, Coach Green really coached them up tonight.
So it was a holding play against Marist, or a penalty, rather. Henley's decided to decline it, and they'll take the sack. In on that tackle was Jacob Bakke. It pins Marist way back on this 2nd down play. Miller drops back to pass, tries to find Detmeyer on the far sideline, but it falls incomplete. Marist now looking at 3rd and 20.
Yeah, they're having to pass every play now. Henley knows it, so they're just getting a lot of pressure and then just getting no time to throw the football. Makes for a tough situation.
At the same time, Henley can get pressure. They can also let those defensive backs just kind of sit about 5-10 yards upfield, drop back, play a little bit of more conservative defense. But when you send 4 guys and they're still getting into the backfield, well, that feels pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Here's 3rd and 20 coming up for Marist. Miller back to pass. This time has time. Looks way downfield. The pass is incomplete. They try to find Justina on the far sideline again, but just overthrown. Here's 4th and 20.
They had 2 defenders over there, Vaughn and Bennett, on either side of that receiver. Good defense again. And it's a 4th and 20.
Marist down 19, 4th and 20.
Yeah.
I mean, that's disadvantageous for certain, but you got to start wondering when Marist is going to say, well, every play is 4th down territory, down like they are right now.
Yeah.
Shively, the lone back to receive. The punt is up from about the 5. It's going to bounce around the 50. It's fielded by Shively at the 40. He is going to lose 1 defender. Now cuts back across the near side of the field, loses another defender. Now he's up to the 45, to the 50, up to past the 40, now to the 35, to the 30. Shively breaks through to the 20, to the 10, 5. Shively pushed out of bounds at the 2. A great return for Shively, 48 yards, and then a penalty after the play. Shively tossing the football up in the air, and an unforced penalty to be sure. And this one is going to be coming back a little bit. You hate to see that, just a little bit overzealous on the celebration.
That was a celebration penalty, and that's something that you'll clean up as the season progresses, but still a great run back. And another good decision. Things you don't see in the box score, but I don't know if you saw it, Josh. A Henley player was coming across to make a crackback block, and at the last second he veered away from it. It would have been a penalty, but sometimes the right decision is not to make the block.
Certainly.
And in that case it was. No penalty. And then a very long run back, almost scored on the play.
We're going to call out a great block. I saw Kai Montag throw a great block that allowed Shively to cut back across the middle as well. I mean, a return like that's always a team effort. And
yes.
that was a 48-yard return. It's going to come back a little bit, Shively, on that penalty. It looks like it's going to be from the 17-yard line here for Henley. They'll take it over 1st and 10.
Yeah, he was able to get down to about the 2. And so with the penalty, we'll back it up. But still very good field position for Henley.
Handsome Townsend, the back end for the Hornets. 2 men set out to either side for Janney. Calls for the snap. It's a handoff to Townsend. He's wrapped up right away. No gain on the play. 2nd down.
So we've seen Henley's backfield kind of develop tonight. Trapper Kundal and Jeremiah Brunick, and now Handsome Townsend, kind of sharing the duty of running the football.
Good to get all those guys touches. And the running back position is such a punishing position to play. You know, late in the game, we may not see Brunick again just to let him rest. I mean, he's still down here on the sideline, healthy as far as I can tell. But helmet is off. Brunick has worked hard tonight.
Yeah, he played very well. All the running backs have.
2nd and 10 here for Henley. Clock continues to tick. 6:40 to go in the 4th quarter, and Henley leads 26-7. Janney takes the snap, looks over the middle, moves up in the pocket, has some room, gets by 1 defender before being taken down at the 10. Call it a gain of 8 on the ground there for Janney. Brings up 3rd and short.
He just saw some space in the middle and went there. And the clock continues to run. Just some ball control. If they can cap this off with a score, it's going to put him in a very good situation to win this game.
Yeah, they're also okay to hang out in the huddle a little bit. Let that clock continue to tick away. Yeah, you're exactly right, Kev. The Hornets feel like they're in a pretty good spot right now trying to close out this football game. Trapper Kundal is checked in as the back for the Hornets. 2 men set out wide to the left. They've got a tight end in Montag. They put him in motion going left. Janney takes the direct snap, has some blocks inside the 5, cuts upfield, high stepping into the end zone for another Hornets touchdown. They lead 32-7 with 5:39 to go in the 4th quarter. Joe Janney adding his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. That one from about 8 yards out, and the Hornets extend their lead.
On those design quarterback runs, you can almost tell immediately if there's green on the outside, if they don't contain that outside, he is going to score or either get a big gain. So that's what happened there. A lot of room on the far side of the field for Janney.
The kick is up, and it is good. The Henley Hornets lead 33-7 with 5:39 to go in the ball game. We'll step aside here on 104.3 and 960 Sports, our final timeout of regulation before we wrap things up for you, finishing out the 4th quarter. Henley leading big as we come down to the finish on 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
It's time to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
Hornets faithful in good spirits as their team leads here at halftime tonight. In the 4th quarter tonight, 33-7, 5:39 to go in this 4th quarter. After that last drive capped off with an 8-yard Joe Janney touchdown rush, Hornets lead big. And a booming kick that time for Luke Balzotti, a touchback. Don't often see that all the time, but Marist is going to take it over 1st and 10 from their own 20.
Yeah, that's what they're trying for on that kick. If you can get a kicker to kick it out of the end zone, no return, start at the 20. That's just what you want. Well done, Luke. Nobody's left, Josh. Everybody was ready for this game tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Klamath Falls is very excited for this game, and Henley's pretty much got this one in the bag, but no one's left yet.
Well, there's got to be someone left to rush the field after the game, right, Kev?
I guess so.
5:39 to go in this one. 1st and 10, Marist at their own 20. Looks like we see Marist's backup quarterback, Gilliam, back in the game. Unloads a deep pass to Detmer downfield, but it's broken up. Some fantastic defense played by Jesse Smith, the junior, to break up a 30-yard pass downfield, bringing up 2nd down for the Spartans.
That was good defense out there. Jesse able to break that up. Good pass.
Yeah.
Just better defense.
Now, that was a really good ball down to Detmeyer. He actually got his hand on it, and the reason that pass was incomplete, Smith punched the ball out. So that was a really good defensive play by on his part. 2 men set out to either side for Gilliam as he drops back to pass. Has some room and again looks downfield to the near side. Again, the pass is incomplete. Trying to find Hazen down the near side. And that time it was Handsome Townsend on the defense.
Marist is just trying to go with the deep ball at this point. Just try to get some long plays, try to get a score at some point, but just haven't had any success this half. Henley defense, as well as they played in the first half, they're playing even better in the second.
Marist with the clock stopped after that incompletion, trying to get the right play coming out. Similar formation, though. You can anticipate a deeper pass of some variety for Marist as they begin to get desperate. The clock certainly against him here. And back to pass again is Gilliam. The pass is caught by Jones, and he is upended downfield. A good pass is good for a 1st down, but a nice tackle there by the Hornets. Stop him at the side of the catch. Up about the 38-yard line, 1st and 10, Marist.
Yeah, we're seeing some new faces for Henley on that defense, so we'll see how this group does.
Marist on the hurry-up. Gilliam back to pass already. Tries to roll right. He stopped there. Now comes to the left, feeling the pressure. There's a flag down. He looks downfield to Jones, but the pass incomplete. Townsend again getting a hand in there, but there is a flag on the far side of the field, about the 35. Let's see. Again, our official tonight in the white cap. You've seen him this evening, Darren Rutledge, as he comes to the forefront here for our signal. I think it's an opportunity for Henley to decide what they want to do here. So seemingly the penalty against Marist is Coach Matt Green down here talking to the official. Holding against the Spartans. It is accepted, and the Spartans go backwards 10 yards. 1st and 20.
The second group for Henley is just as aggressive as the first. They've made some really good plays last few downs.
So here come the Spartans now facing 1st and 20, although down in distance, not mattering much at this point for the Spartans. It may as well be 1st and 65 here. Gilliam looks over the middle of the field. It is over the head of Jones. And it is incomplete. 2nd and 20 underway.
They've been looking to Jones on most of these routes. And the throws just haven't been on the mark.
Jones a tall player, 6'4". Yeah. He's 175 pounds. He's a good target out there. And you can see, even though that one was over his head, his long arms, he still almost brought it in.
Yeah.
4:55 to go in the ball game. Henley leads 33-7. In their first game of the season, week number 2 of the high school football season. Talk a little bit about what's next for Henley in our post-game show tonight. What's next for the Spartans as well, and us here on mybasin.com. Stick around for our post-game coverage tonight from Henley High School. Gilliam back to pass again. Here's a screen pass caught by Skinner at the 25, brings it up to the 30 before being rolled over about the 33-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and 7 here for Marist on a completed pass. Clock continues to tick. The Spartans going to try to hurry up to get back on the football here.
Jaden Pena making a tackle for Henley.
Marist back on the football, 3rd and 17. Officially the down and distance here for the Spartans, taking it from their own 33-yard line. Gilliam with an empty backfield, back to pass. Has lots of time, rolls right, trying to push his guys deeper downfield, looks for Skinner over the middle, but it's incomplete, 4th and long.
He had a lot of time to throw, but he was scanning the field and Good coverage. The Henley defensive backs have just had really good coverage all night for whatever reason.
Here's something we see with really effective passing games that on that play I think it stood out for Marist's part. When you got an effective passing game and your quarterback rolls out, you'll start to see those wide receivers come back to the ball, try to get open for that one.
Yes.
Marist receivers ran their route and paused, and it didn't give their quarterback anywhere to go after Henley had settled into their defense.
That's right, Josh. They did that. You have to run back to your quarterback, give him a target.
Here's the punt coming up from Jones, a high punt. No one back to receive for Henley. Skips around the 30, and then out of bounds right there at the 30. Hornets will take it over 1st and 10, 4 minutes remaining in this one. Hornets have scored 5 unanswered touchdowns tonight. 3 of them on the ground for Joe Janney. Hornets, all of their touchdowns have been on the ground tonight as well. Jeremiah Brunick has one, and Trapper Kundal has one as well. The passing attack has been there for Henley to get some chunks down the field, but when they get up close to it, they're relying on their rushing game.
Yeah, they've had the balance tonight. They've thrown when they need to. But the success has definitely come on the run. Special teams been pretty good. That long run back set them up for that last touchdown. Good game in all phases for the Hornets.
Certainly so, and it looks like we're getting the full second string out here for Henley. We'll try to identify these guys best we can. I believe Derek Cox in at quarterback, Trapper Kundal his wide receiver, his running back. Got 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Cox calls for the snap. It's a handoff to Kundal, who gets upfield for a gain of about 3. I'm still seeing Baki out there as a receiver. I see Ronan Wright out there for Henley. He's joined by A.J. Patsky, one of the other wide receivers, a sophomore out there. On the line for Henley, I see Ian Meyer. I see Yarnall. Let's see. A couple other guys coming out there new to the game. Stephen Cassidy. 76 out there for Henley. David Rutledge, just trying to give everyone a little bit of pub as the second string comes out for the Hornets to try to wrap up this ball game.
Yeah, things have gone Henley's way tonight. They really couldn't have asked for a better game. Real good game plan and good execution.
3:24 ticking away. Cox in at quarterback, a multi-sport athlete for the Hornets. As a freshman last year, was a varsity starter on the baseball team. Here he takes a high snap. It's over his head, and having to go back to fall on it was a running back, Stephen Cassidy. He was able to get there for Henley to maintain possession of the football, but now they face 3rd and long.
That was a good decision to cover it up. Sometimes you're tempted to pick it up and try to run, but that's kind of dangerous. Just fall on it, maintain possession. Under 3 minutes now to play in the game.
We see Derek here in at quarterback for Henley. Kevin, we had that flyover earlier. Derek's dad was in one of the jets that flew over Henley High School earlier today.
That's right.
His Hornets face 3rd and 18. Cox in the gun here. 2 men lined out to the left, including a tight end. 1 man to the near side here. Back judge with his hand up. Cox calls for the snap. It's a keeper designed for him. Nearly wrapped up in the backfield, but was able to hustle back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it brings up 4th down as clock continues to tick inside of 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Henley's special teams to come out. They'll punt things away, and pinning Marist with the football with less than 2 minutes to go once we finally get this punt off. But the Hornets content to take their time here as the clock ticks off.
Henley should feel very good about the way things went tonight. You know, it's never easy. We talk about this too. Coming to Klamath Falls and playing, it's not an attractive thing. A lot of teams won't do it.
Very true.
So I give Marist credit for coming and making this trip, but it's a tough place to play. You're playing on grass. They're used to playing on turf. So a lot of things make this a good home field for Henley.
Hornets trying to get their special teams lined up. Looks like they got their second unit out for special teams. Maybe not lined up exactly right, so they're going to call a timeout here with 1:30 to go in the ball game ahead of this punt. It's their second charge timeout of the half, and they lead 33-7. Gives us another opportunity to highlight some of our sponsors tonight on mybasin.com. Sponsors like Coldwell Banker, Home and Premier Realty. They know that little things can add up to big bills when you're buying, selling, or owning a home. Coldwell Banker, Home and Premier Realty's exclusive beyond the sale guarantees protect buyers, sellers, and homeowners from unexpected repair bills. To learn more, more, call Coldwell Banker Holman Premier Realty today. Want to give a shout out to their principal broker, Mr. Randy L. Shaw. He's, of course, the principal broker there at Coldwell Banker. Also the public address announcer at Bonanza High School. If you make your way out to an Antlers game, you'll hear Mr. Randy Shaw on the mic. Here we go. 4th down for Henley. Trying to protect the punter, Janney, a little bit here. The snap is high. Janney fields it with ease and breaks off a beautiful punt, maybe his best punt of the night. It's fielded at the 25 and unable to get anywhere. Talk about breaking down for a tackle. Jacob Bakke ripped that one out of the textbook.
Jacob's played a good game tonight, and that was a good tackle. That was a nice punt. We've seen some great punts tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually don't think about that, but we've seen some really good kicks.
I mean, not even about distance. That one just looked pretty off the foot.
Yeah, a lot of spirals.
Yeah.
A couple finals. I guess one final, Josh. Heppner did end up beating Lost River tonight, 43-8. In the second half score, we have Cross Point and Duford tied at 12.
I'm interested in all those games for some of our lower classification schools. We got a big 8-man game coming up next week. Hoping to be able to have some coverage for it. But Cross Point Christian, one of the top 1A teams, 8-man in Oregon. Tule Lake, one of the best 8-man teams in California. They're squaring off down in California next week. That'll be a good game.
That'll be a good game. Good local game.
1st and 10, Marist. Gilliam back to throw. They find Jones streaking over the middle, brings it up to the 45. A 20-yard reception there for Jones. They're getting him active as this game ticks away, but a 1st down there for Marist.
Yeah, they've been looking for Jones. They made the completion that time. Josh, we had no lightning tonight.
How about it?
So you might get home at a decent hour.
Yeah.
We did have some mosquitoes, though.
Well, that comes with the territory.
That does.
Yeah.
No one's complaining.
Here we go. 1st and 10 for the Spartans from their own 45. Gilliam looking to the flat. Finds his man at the 50. Now to the 45. Detmeyer steps out of bounds near the 37-yard line. Actually, no, they're going to say he did get out of bounds. At first, they thought the clock was rolling, but instead it'll be a 1st down. Marist throwing the ball well, but Henley giving up that underneath stuff right now at this point in the game.
Yeah. Henley's in victory mode, as they should be.
Gilliam alone in the backfield, 45 seconds to go in this one. Back to pass, has lots of room, looks quickly to Jones, caught at the 30, and that's where he will be brought down. Looks like Derek Cox in on the tackle, the sophomore, playing both sides of the football late in this one. It was about a 7-yard reception, bringing up 2nd down for Marist. They're trying to hurry up to get some more of these plays in, but 20 seconds and counting here for the Spartans. They do have 3 timeouts, but looks like they'll be taking them with them. Back to Eugene. Gilliam feels pressure, sheds off one defender, looks downfield, trying to find his man a few yards up, but it is incomplete. And let's see, we got a flag. I thought the near judge dropped a flag. Looks like holding against Marist. That'll bring him back just a ways more for the 2nd down play. We'll replay 2nd down, I believe.
Robert Alvarez in there causing some trouble. Good pressure on that play for Henley.
So Marist with 11 seconds to go in this one. Imagine 1, maybe 2 plays remain. Certainly not enough to come back. 33-7 our score right now. Henley just trying to stay healthy in these final 2 plays. Here's 2nd down and 12. Gilliam calls for the snap, drops back to pass. Looks over the middle, finds Jones. It is complete at the 25. He's brought down. And that will stop the clock. I believe looks like might have a player a little bit banged up down there with 5 seconds remaining in the ball game. And at a point like this in the game, never want to see that with a player down. Hopefully he seems to be okay. Again, want to give a shout out to the trainers here tonight from Elevate Physical Therapy. They've got a partnership with the Klamath County School District and do great work taking care of the student athletes. Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance. You see their logo there on your scoreboard. Big shout out to Jason Taylor and the bunch down there. Jones able to make his way off the field. Looks like a little bit of assistance there on the far side, but here we go. 5 seconds remaining. This will be the last play, seemingly for Marist, if they can get the snap off. Here they go. Gilliam back to pass. Looking deep towards the end zone. The buzzer sounds. The game is over. The Hornets are victorious. They defeat the state champion Marist Catholic Spartans in convincing fashion. 33-7, the final score tonight. Stick around for our post-game coverage as we name a Pacific Power play of the game next on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance. Thanks for joining us. Elevate started in 2020 as a dream. I wanted to open up a clinic of my own, really had a heart and a passion to treat athletes of all ages, and got the opportunity to do it. And wow, this is what's happened. One of the best parts of this job is that we get to work with all the student athletes on field, at their contests, at their games all around the county. Specifically when you're working with dancers, right, we've got like particular ways of movement that we don't want to necessarily correct, because dancers have a very specific way of moving that's important for their athletic performance. At Elevate, we're here to get you moving and keep you moving, no matter if you're 8 or you're 80. Feel free to give us a call at 541-887-2030.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Henley Hornets pick up a win in their first game of the season, 33-7. The final score tonight for the Hornets. They were down 7-0 early, but boy, did they storm back in a big way, grabbing a convincing win against a rival opponent, the defending state champions. Good feelings for the Hornets tonight here, Kevin.
That's a good win,
yeah.
And Marist is going to win some games. So that's a good win as far as your ranking goes. You know, they'll probably win their league or be close. So just good all around for Henley. Good performance. I was really surprised how quickly they kind of gelled and got that new group together. So they played very well. Marist, they had a tough 3 road games to start. I have a feeling that they'll bounce back, though. But look at the Henley side, just a really good game. A lot of good performances, and coaches will be happy.
So 33-7, the final score. Kevin, we got a Pacific Power play of the game tonight. What is your choice there?
I'm going to go with Jeremiah Brunick. Had about a 40-yard run in that first half. Henley kind of needed some yards, and he made a nice long run. I think he's really running the ball well, so I'm going to go with Jeremiah tonight.
Yeah, he had a great game running the ball. I'm going to pick a long rush as well, a 24-yard touchdown rush for Joe Janney. It was his first of what would wind up being 3 touchdowns tonight. I'm going with that as my Pacific Power play of the game. And big shout-out to the Pacific Power Foundation for coming aboard and supporting this year of Henley football and all our sports here on mybasin.com. The goal of the Pacific Power Foundation is to support the growth and vitality of local communities through charitable investments. Over the past 5 years, the foundation has awarded over $13 million to nonprofit organizations. And our Pacific Power play of the game, we pick it after every game. And a couple of nominees tonight, Joe Janney and Jeremiah Brunick in Henley's 33-7 win. A couple of numbers to point out tonight. Boy, did the Henley defense have a great night. They forced Marist into 10 punts and 2 of 14 on third down conversions tonight. They were everywhere.
They played great on third down. I think the main thing was the pressure. They were able to apply pressure on third down. It was 3rd and long. Marist was trying to string together some first downs and get a drive together. They just could not do it. The Henley defense was very good tonight, both up front on the line and in the defensive backfield as well.
Playing themselves to a 33-7 win over Marist. We're going to take one more break here on the post-game show. When we come back, we'll wrap things up for you, try to give you some final scores from elsewhere around the basin, try to give you a little bit of Lost River, a little bit of Cross Point Christian. If we can find a Mazama score, we'll give it to you as well. Coming up on the other side as we continue our post-game coverage tonight from Henley High School and the Hornets win over Marist 33-7. Back after this.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Clown Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Clown Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Josh Eldridge and Kevin Petrick back with you on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. Final score tonight, 33-7. The Hornets are victorious. Kevin, you had some scores from elsewhere for some Klamath Basin teams. What do you got over there?
Yeah, no update since the last report, but Heppner did defeat Lost River 43-8 this evening. And the last score from the Cross Point Dufur game, those teams were tied at 12 in the second half.
Last we heard, Mazama was trailing heavily at halftime in their game against Mountain View. Don't have an updated score on them. If I can share one before we head off the air, I will. But they were down 41 points at halftime. We'll try to get a final score update from there. We also know Bonanza was playing Lowell tonight. No score update from that one. And Klamath Union played last night, a big win against the Lapine Hawks to pick up their first win of the season. And, of course, the Henley Hornets victorious in this one this evening. With this win, Henley improving to 1-0 on the season. Marist falling to 0-3. Next week, Hornets fans, is questionable. Right now, the Hornets don't have a Week 3 game scheduled. There's a couple of feelers out there. Don't want to get into specifics. Don't want to make any false promises because we've already had some broken already this year. Again, not trying to get into many details, but as of right now, the Hornets' next scheduled game is September 26th. It'll be on the road against 3A Cascade Christian. They're playing at Lithian Driveway Fields over there in Medford. The Hornets actually don't have a home game scheduled again until over a month away. October 17th is the next home game against Ashland. The Hornets going to have to be road warriors over the next month or so.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting schedule. We don't know what their game status will be for next week. I really want to credit the coaches for this game, because not being able to play for essentially 2 weeks, Marist has been playing for essentially 3.
Yeah.
So it's a tough chore. And you have the kids want to play, and they don't get to play, and you don't have that live action, and it's kind of hard to keep everybody's interest for that long. They did a really good job. Henley came out sharp. I didn't feel like they looked any worse for being off for an extra week. So really a credit to the coaching staff and to the seniors on this team. Henley's a veteran team, and that's the kind of performance that you'll get from from the kids. They understand what's going on.
Want to give you a final score update. We did get a final score from Cross Point Christian and Doofer. It looks like Doofer edged out the Warriors 20-12 in that game. They just got that final score. Big thanks to the folks from Cross Point Christian for passing that along. Final score here for Henley was 33-7. Kev, I know you just said a nice piece there about the coaches, and you're exactly right. But do you have any other final parting thoughts before we break this thing up tonight?
No, just other than I think Henley's experience is really going to take them a long way. They have a lot of seniors, and the kids that are coming up to play, they're going to learn from them. And that's a pretty good combination. You get some good athletes and some good experience, and you have the chance to go a long way.
33-7, the final score tonight. The Hornets victorious in their first time out. Want to thank everybody involved with making tonight's broadcast possible. Start with both head coaches, Zach Loboy for the Marist Catholic Spartans and Matt Green for the Henley Hornets. Also the athletic director here on site tonight, Mr. Luke Hammond, for giving us a great place to sit here about midfield, just underneath the press box here at Henley High School. Big thanks to Mr. Hammond for not only helping us out during football, but of course basketball and baseball as well. Also want to thank Walter Hartley for sticking around tonight. Caitlin Rodriguez for running the live stream this evening. For Kevin Petrick, my name is Josh Eldridge. So long and good night from Henley High School in Klamath Falls, Oregon.